Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for Super Rugby Pacific, and this game, it is going to be a rematch of the only game that went to Golden Point in the whole competition for 2022. That is going to be Hurricanes taking on MOANA Pasifika in what should be a very exciting Tuesday night fixture. This one's rescheduled from a little bit earlier on in the season, which does mean we will get to see some hard-hitting action between the two sides. Quite a few changes for both of these lineups here. But we have got Ollie Wilson and Reed in the chat as well. I hope you guys are all doing well and hope you are excited for yet again another match of Super Rugby Pacific. We will look through the starting lineups and reserves for both of these teams and then go from there. But first of all, we will be looking through at the Hurricanes. Alex Fiedel, James O'Reilly, and Tavita Mafaleo as the front row. Now, Alex Fiedel, I believe he does normally slot into the tight head side when he does need to, so switching between the two. And also James O'Reilly, he had a fantastic debut last week, or I don't even think it was his debut. He just looked like he was cemented into that jersey. Originally was going to be a Safa-Mua, who was slotting in it too, but instead the late change meant O'Reilly got to slot in there. And speaking of changes, Walker Leawera, he is going to be back there at number 4. It's been a long time since we've seen that man in action, so hopefully he does pick up from where he left off, because he has been in some very good form as of late. Then Tom Parsons, the Hawke's Bay representative, he will be at number 5. Looking through at the loose boy trio, Reed Prinsep at number 6, Blake Gibson at number 7, the ex-Blues boy, and then Devon Flanders, also a Hawke's Bay player, going to be slotting in there at number 8. I was got there. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing very well. Hope you are doing well too, mate. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. I'm hoping it is relatively close like the last time that we got to see these two sides play, but you never know. It's going to be a tricky one. TJ Perenara, he is slotting in at number 9. He was initially scheduled to start the match up against the Crusaders, but due to a back injury, it did mean that he was going to be out of that game, but now back in the starting lineup. And then it will be Aidan Morgan, who does get to slot in at number 10, who had a very good game last week. Or in fact, it was the week before when he did get to make his debut for the Hurricanes. Peter Umaga Jensen and Balin Sullivan, very strong midfield combo. So Lisa Rayasi, one of the few men who have been able to get themselves a hat-trick in the Super Rugby Pacific competition. He will be out on the left wing. Wes Hulson slots from the left wing to the right wing for this week, so no sign of either Savia brother. And then at number 15, it will not be Geordie Barrett. He is also not in the centres. It is going to be Ruben Love, does slot in there at fullback. We have got there, good evening, Master H, slightly disappointed with the games lineup. No Savia brothers, Karefi, Geordie. It's like they haven't lost already to MOANA. Sebastian, yeah, I think also the quick turnaround, though, from that Crusaders game, that would have been pretty rough for them. I think it also takes so long to kick off. And there says Peter, yeah, this game going to be kicking off at 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time. So they have got a little bit of rain around at Sky Stadium by the looks of it. So hopefully it is going to be all right for a nice little bit of run and rugby, because their backlines, they are very impeccable for these two lineups. And we will go to MOANA Pasifika's right now. Abraham Poli in the front row alongside Sam Molly, and also Joe Apakatoa will be the other man slotting in at 3. That is due to the injury of Sakopi Kepu. Unfortunately, we may not see that man in action for a little while from here, but hopefully he will recover well and we'll be back before we get to those later stages, possibly quarterfinals and all sorts there. But Nakuru slotting in at 4, and Samuel Slade, he will be there at number 5. Alex McRobbie at 6. Henry Stowers at number 8, returning as it was Pinatoa Whenau, who was there last week. And then Alamana Matanga will be there at number 7. Jonathan Tamatine and Christian Liliafano as the 19 combo. Danny Tuala and Levi Amua, two men who played very well in the provincial competition in New Zealand. One for Hawke's Bay, one for Tasman. And Levi Amua, I think he's the most likely man to be able to get himself over the line for MOANA Pasifika throughout this game. Although two honourable mentions, Narea Whamai out on that left wing, Tima Whainanuku out on the right, and then Lolagi Vizinia will be slotting in there at fullback. But a lot of players for Hawke's Bay, and says Betty, welcome in, and looking forward to the game as always, says Sebastian, for this one. Yeah, hopefully it is going to be a hard-hitting affair and an entertaining Tuesday night fixture. And it's weird only having the one game of Super Rugby, because normally when we do a Super Rugby live stream, we've either got one more after or two more after. This one's just a lone wolf for a midweek game. But looking through at the benches, Carrero Symes will be there at number 16, Jared Prophet at 17, and then it is Tosi will be at number 18. Sangstay and TK Howden. TK Howden, he did start at number 6 up against the Crusaders. So a quick turnaround for that man to already be back for this game. Cam Roygaard off the bench. Tay Walden also going to be there as a replacement back. And then Josh Morby slots in at number 23 to close out the starting lineups for the Hurricanes. And also, I should mention, he was fantastic in the last game that he played, Josh Morby. So hopefully he can continue from the form that he left off there. Rainuia at 16, Ezekiel Lindenmuth at number 17, and then it is Kalamatangi who will be slotting in there at 18. I also got there, TJ on tonight, says Daisy. He certainly is. He is going to be starting at number 9 for this game. And also, it was so hectic at work today, says Max. And also, do you know any late changes, says Jason? I haven't heard of the late changes yet, but as soon as we see them, I guess we'll just kind of go accordingly to that, because I do see Reed Princep, he is at number 6 for this game. And I believe that is where he was going to be initially, wasn't it? No, he's all right. So hopefully no late changes. And if there are late changes, then we will try and keep you guys updated. But then also Penatoa Finau off the bench, number 20, Manu Pai, 21, Lincoln McClutchy at 22, and then Henry Taifu will be slotting in there at number 22. We have got Brandon in the chat as well, and hope you guys are all excited for this game. Do let me know your score predictions. Also, who you think will be able to get themselves the first try of this match. For me, I think Devin Flanders. I think he's a decent shout. He is going to be starting at number 8 for the Hurricanes in this game. And also they are just showing the skills of Aidan Morgan in his opening game. It was actually up against Moana Pasifika. Unfortunately for him, he was on the wrong side of the victory for that game. But if he can do what he did in that last game, perhaps he will be able to have just enough of those silky skills to be able to help the Hurricanes towards a victory. But this will not be an easy game by any sense of the word, because Moana Pasifika, they are a fighting side. Normally have William Harvey at fullback, but instead changing to Lalagi Visanier, so putting on a little bit more size in that back line for this matchup. And let's go, Kane says Obi, and also got some triple chocolate raspberry Little Island ice cream. And there says Max, and also morning all can't stay long. I got flooding air and electricity is off, says Gareth. So hopefully that all comes down for you, mate. That is not what you want midweek, of course, because I know that working and everything like that. So how badly flooded are you at the moment, Gareth? And what part are you on? Are you must be on the coast, I'd like to think, or else if there's flooding there, maybe it's some sort of pipe leak or something like that. And I think smart, 100-0 to the Canes, says Betty Wagon. For that one, and Tom Baggs should be heading to Japan. Would be a shame to see him leave. Yeah, it is going to be another big hit to the Wallaby side if he does go away, and also to the Brumbies. Though at the moment, they are just trying to find who they can actually slot in as that fullback role. And it seems to be, at the moment, more than likely they might end up going with Tom Wright as the man who does kind of slot in there a lot more often than not. And also, who do you think is winning? I think the Hurricanes should win, but Moana Pasifika are never out of a game until the final whistle. Good morning, Gareth. Take care, my guy. And I was you're going to watch the shows tomorrow. And this is Brandon. I will probably be doing a full day of editing tomorrow. And George, we did actually get that video filmed in the Kiwi Lads Extras, which is good news. We've been meaning to film it for about 2 weeks now. It's actually the Soda Stream one rather than the chicken nuggets that are still coming. But currently, you can see there Dane Coles, Tyrell Lomax, Geordie Barrett, Artie Savia, all sitting there on one of the seats in the stands. They are not going to be playing for this game. But currently, the Hurricanes to win this game by 13 plus is paying $1.37. To be honest, though, Moana Pasifika, they won the last contest between these two sides, and they played well throughout. Jason Riley really played well last week, so he deserves the first try of the match, says Jason, and there's a good chance that he is the one who is able to get it out. Also, yeah, Durban, heavy rain, lots of closed roads and mudslides. 20 dead so far. Jeez, that is pretty rough at the moment. So, yeah, thoughts to your families and friends. Family and friends. And hopefully they are all safe as well as yourself, Gareth. Be sure to stay safe throughout those times. And also Moana Pasifika does have or does not have a chance against the Hurricanes, because the Hurricanes have the best player, Geordie Barrett. Geordie Barrett sitting in the stands, though, for this matchup. He is not going to be playing in this match. And Moana need to play 80 minutes to win, says Obi. Yeah, that has been the one that everyone has been looking at. It's whether or not they can put together a long enough performance to last for those later stages, because they worked hard in their last game up against the Hurricanes. You'd have to say that was almost as close to an 80-minute performance as they had, because throughout that game, I believe they had yellow cards, yet somehow they were still able to keep themselves in that contest. And also, I expect foam exploding out of the nostrils in that soda video, says Sebastian. Not quite, but there was almost, I don't want to spoil too much, but there were a few interesting moments. We had my cameraman or camera woman, Mumsy, did decide to hold the camera for us for one of those camera angles. So we got a couple angles on it, and it was an interesting one, to say the least. At 8 p.m, maybe my best friend, Janoki COVID. And there, as I says, Brandon. And also, we have got there, who's your favorite player from the Hurricanes, Hamish? I love watching this game. If I choose one who's on the field at the moment, I'll go with, and I am going to say probably, I really like watching Devin Flanders play, but favorite player out there on the field as well, I'd have to say, is probably either Salise Dayasi or Wes Hewson, one of those guys in the back line. And when will the video be out? First, we've got to transfer it to George's PC, so it might still be another week or two before we get everything all sorted out for it, as it will take quite a bit of editing, quite a bit of putting together for that one. And I've had COVID. It was pretty mild. And as I said, obviously, you are probably one of the lucky ones for that case. And also, as my best friend gets COVID no shows, and as I says, Brandon, but currently now we are only sitting around 5 minutes away from this matchup getting underway. We're just going to check some odds, the late odds for this match. Hurricanes are still well and truly the favourites for this fixture. And the Hurricanes, they also have their mascot of a miniature plane that always ends up flying out onto the field in front of the players for this one. But a few people in attendance for Sky Stadium on a Tuesday night. It was raining earlier on in Wellington, but it looks like maybe it's calmed down just for now. But MOANA Pasifika, they will be in the white for this game, the Hurricanes in their home kit. And also, Brad, Geordie ain't here. And there says Richard, that is true. No Geordie, no Artie Savia, no Julian Savia. And also a couple other big names missing, such as a Tyrell Lomax, and still no Dane Coles due to his injury. And hey, guys, go the Canes, says Tesla, for this game. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, your score predictions for this matchup. I would like to think that we're going to see another close game, only split by maybe about 5 or 6 points. Currently, I'm just looking through the starting lineups for both sides. The 4 packs are unchanged from those initial ones that I did mention about, which we will put up on the screen now. So this is the Hurricane starting lineup. Fidel, O'Reilly and Mafaleo as the front row. Isaiah Walker-Leawera, he has returned after a long layoff. Tom Parsons slots in at number 5. Then Reed Prinsep, Devin Flanders and Blake Gibson. They are going to be the loose forward trio for this matchup. Then looking through at the back line, TJ Perenara, Aidan Morgan, Peter Umaga Jensen, Balin Sullivan, Salisi Rayasi, Wes Wilson, and then Ruben Love gets the slot in at fullback for this matchup up against MOANA Pasifika. Then MOANA Pasifika, a few changes in their starting lineup, including the captain for that last match. It was Sakopi Kipu. He is out with a shoulder/arm injury, I believe it is. So that is why Joe Apakatoa does slot in at number 3. Then Abraham Polly, Sam Molly as the other 2 men in that front row. Nakuru and Slade will be the 4-5. Then McRobbie, Matanga, and Big Henry Stowers slotting in there at number 8. Jonathan Tamatine will be there at 9. Christian Leliafano getting closer and closer to his 1,000 points in Super Rugby. We'll have to wait and see how he does go in this game and whether or not he can be one of the keys for the MOANA Pasifika lineup for that matchup. Danny Tuala, Levi Amoa, Tima Whainanoku, Naria Fuma'ai, and Lolagi Vizinier. They will be the back 3 for this contest. And 28-14 to the Canes. And people, it's 100-0 to the Canes and also 38-10 to the Canes. So everyone's picking the Canes. I've never had it. I'd like to think that the Jazz will work their magic. I was out and about quite a lot. And there, and also 21-14 in there. And also the next few days, 2 family members have it now, says Paddy Wagon. So hopefully you do stay safe for that one. I will quickly show you guys the benches for these 2 sides. Career Symes is there, Prophet and Tosi as the front row replacements. Sangster and Howden, the rest of the forward replacements for the Hurricanes. And then Roygard, Walden, and Morby as the backs. Then MOANA Pasifika, Ray Nuia plays very nicely and also loves a rolling maul, which MOANA Pasifika might be able to go to in the later stages of this game. Lindenmuth and Kalamatangi as the other 2 props for the replacement side of things for MOANA Pasifika. Michael Curry and Pinatoa Finau there at the moment. Is the little plane going to drive out with them? I think it is. For the Hurricanes, it's just parked in the little tunnel area at the moment. Manupaya, Lincoln McClutchy, and Henry Taifu will be an exciting one to come off the bench for the next half of rugby. And Canes for the win. And also we have got there, you guys are kind of cocky. It says Richard. And also we have got there 21 people like it shows. And Davida Lee, I might come back to New Zealand and play for MOANA Pasifika. That would be quite cool, seeing these players return from overseas and then get an opportunity to join up with MOANA Pasifika. Because at the end of the day, it's their first season. There's always going to be those little cracks in there. But after that, when you've had 2 or 3 seasons down, I think MOANA Pasifika can certainly be a bit of a contender as well. They are currently sitting bottom of the table, unfortunately, for themselves. As you can see here, they are sitting in last. If they get a win over the Hurricanes here, they will actually boost them up more than likely to possibly 11th, which is still a little bit low, but they would love to be able to add a couple more W's to that column, as the only time that they've got a win so far, it was actually up against the Hurricanes in Golden Point time. They did lose their game to the Highlanders last weekend, and the Hurricanes, they did have a close loss to the Crusaders. But they are still sitting in 8th, and with a win here, they might be able to make their way up to 7. But at the moment, Dan Weyer It is going to be his first match of Super Rugby, so a big opportunity, not just for the players out on the field, but also for a brand new referee in the competition. We'll go like this. We'll put that on the middle of the screen so that I can see it. There we go. And also got to keep it in the motu, bruv. And there it says over here. And also, I was meaning to ask, has the community created Fiji and Dry and MOANA Pasifika logos and squads to download in Rugby Challenge 4? That is a very good question. I know that the squads will be there. It's just whether or not the kits are. MOANA Pasifika probably still have their old kit from that match up against the Māori All Blacks. Fiji and Draw, I know that they were part of the NRC, so they might have their kit in there anyway. Maybe, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I don't think they've got the updated Super Rugby ones yet. And also, sorry, 24-19, so bad. And there says Richard. And also, we have got there, we are allowed to make a score prediction. And there's us, says Betty Wiggham. And now it's going to be kicked off by Christian Laliafano to get us underway for this matchup. Big opportunity for a few new faces for the Hurricanes. And now it is going to be kicked off here for this matchup. It's been kicked off long. Where's Horson? Takes it straight through. Someone's got to tackle him, but it's going to be tough to do. He does the chip and chase. He's been taken out, very similar to what we saw for Caleb Clark's red card. But I don't believe he fell as awkwardly. Devon Flanders was able to get his hands on that ball 5 meters out from the line. But where's Horson? Almost got cleaned up in the air. And now he went straight through the gap. Someone's got to stop him. As soon as he gets that space, where's Horson? You could tell that he was going to be dangerous. And then ends up getting nailed by Lolagi Vizinia. I think they're saying it's fine, though, for that one. And also go Peter Umaga Jensen. Okay, it's going to be taking the mark where the ball landed. So he did get penalised, Lolagi Vizinia, and now the Hurricanes will kick it for the corner. And go Peter Umaga Jensen was good mates with him in high school, says Tesla. So, yeah, hopefully he does have a good game in the midfield for this matchup. Now going to be lining up this one. At the moment, I believe that's... Okay, that's Kareru Symes. So that has been a late change. It was going to be James O'Reilly initially, but he is actually going to be one who they have changed extremely late. So late that the lineups didn't ever and got smashed from Vision. Yeah, not exactly legally though, which is why the penalty did go against him. Kareru Symes drops his head only a couple meters out from the line now. Round the side, Peter Umaga Jensen, meter short here once again for the Hurricanes. Looks like Isaiah Walker-Leawere. In fact, it's Alex Fidel. Goes down over the line. And Alex Fidel scores the try, slams the ball down, and says that's not a bad start to the match for the boys. Oh, damn, he got the boot in there as well. That is going to be now the first try of the match, and only a couple minutes in, and the Hurricanes have been able to strike first and strike fast in this contest. But it was Alex Fidel who was able to wrestle his way over the try line after a repeat of pressure. They did kick for the corner into that one, the Hurricanes, and they were rewarded, I should say, with an Alex Fidel try in the second minute of the match. A great start for the Hurricanes, and MOANA Pasifika straight away now going to be on the back foot. And also over there, that was loud. And there's and also we have got there, I think Crusaders or Brumbies, and there says Richard. And for who is going to win Super Rugby, that was the question from Liam. I would say I'm probably Crusaders or Chiefs at the moment, personally, but it is still very early on in the competition, so it's going to be a tricky one to predict. But Ruben Love tries to convert it, just hanging it away to the right-hand side, and the score will remain 5-0 to the Hurricanes after only 2.5 minutes. And it's a good start to the match for the home side at Sky Stadium. But Alex Fidel, the first try scorer of this game. Okay, they've actually just informed us that the referee, he was going to be wearing a different kit color for this match, but MOANA Pasifika, they actually brought their wrong kit for this game. So because of that, the referee had to find his training shirt, and that is what he is wearing for the matchup. Now, firing it across TJ Perenara straight to Balin Sullivan in the midfield, being wrestled down hard. Currently ball protected quite nicely. Perenara fires it back to Aidan Morgan. Now kicks it downfield. Some good distance on it. Lolagi Vizinia has got it on the halfway line, though, and Anton Leonard-Brown surgery 6 months. Yeah, I did see that news that he is going to be out for a pretty long time now, unfortunately, for him. And just when he was about to come back from another injury, and yes, and there's Richard, that's another penalty to the Hurricanes. They want to take the ball quickly, and Jonathan Tamatine does not allow it. He holds onto the ball a little bit longer, MOANA. And there says Obi, and also we have got is there any late changes yet? So the one change that we have noticed is at number 2, it is Kiriru Symes, rather than being James O'Reilly, who was going to be starting initially. And 58-17 to the Canes, says Obi for the prediction. Aidan Morgan kicks that one into touch. And without a few of their big key players for the Hurricanes, such as the Savia brothers, also not having a Geordie Barrett in the lineup, no Duplessis Kirifi in that loose forward trio, but it was Reid Prinsep in that loose forward trio who was able to win that penalty for the Hurricanes, thrown in by Kiriru Symes, nicely taken by Flanders, now off. And then it's a Salisi Reasi, and I feel like he will really want to get himself on the try scorer sheet. Pito Munga gets some brilliant leg drive from him, forcing himself only 15 metres out from the line. Now Devon Flanders, pop pass back out to Reid Prinsep. He wasn't quite able to find the offload, though, to one of the men on the outside. Now Devon Flanders drops the head, wrestled down by Henrique Mestowers. Perenara short side. Off now to Prinsep once again, drops towards the line. Wrestled down by Danny Tuala. Perenara goes back across Flanders. Third carry in a matter of a minute. Now Perenara around the side goes back. It's going to be to Parsons. It's going to be a bit of obstruction from Alex Fidel. And also, we've got there, did you see Abby Dow's injury in the Women's Six Nations Dairy deal? I did not. What happened? I assume, was it something like a snap of some bone or something that looked really ugly? I think it also, we've got there, who do you think will be eligible for Samoa in the Rugby World Cup 2023? I know that one player that they've got their eyes on is going to be, that's the thing. You could look at maybe Michael Alatoa if he wants to play for Samoa. He's already played for, he is actually already playing for Samoa. Never mind. Hopefully he's still around because I do enjoy watching him currently tearing it up for Leinster currently. I was like, hey, brother, good evening from Fiji. Says, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Kiriru Symes waits for that ball to pop up. And he is still going to have this one on his side. It's a loose pass. Where's Hulson? They've said it's gone backwards. So Balin Sullivan. I want to take the carry there. Perenara, a lot of pressure on him as a halfback by Levi Amua. Prinsep on the short side. Wrestled down. And also, we've got there. Michael is in there. As says Richard. And also, we've got there. Hey, Hamish. Says, hi, guys. So welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also, playing for Samoa, says Richard. Yeah. I realised halfway through that statement that I saw him playing for Manu Samoa in the Tonga versus Samoa qualifying games for the World Cup. That's gone into touch. And there's a nice kick by the Hurricanes just to keep Moana Pasifika inside of their own 22, try and create that extra bit of pressure. James O'Reilly. I don't believe. Okay, not likely to be on the replacement for James O'Reilly, they have said. So I think he was in the lineup right till the final moment, and then from there, it seems like he is not going to be playing anymore. And Amelia said, I welcome in Christian Laliafano, only a metre out from his line, gives it a big slipper downfield. It's a good kick and 25 metres out from their line. Now Moana Pasifika, they are going to have to try and defend this line out. But currently, the Highlanders, they were able to beat Moana Pasifika last week. Their next game is actually going to be Highlanders versus Hurricanes this weekend, which where it kind of fits in. That was not straight from Kiriru Symes. And now it is going to be a Moana Pasifika line out. Currently, it doesn't look too bad for weather-wise. I know that it was raining earlier on in Wellington, and there's also supposed to be a cyclone hitting at some stage. But currently, it's not looking too bad. And hello, how are you, says Betty. But currently now sitting only a few metres out from the 22, Moana Pasifika will once again have themselves a scrum feed in this game. I reckon Danny Tuala, Vizinia, and Liliafano would be a good squad for Samoa. I guess it's that big question of whether Christian Liliafano will still be there, I guess you could say. And broken leg, mate. The way she was screaming was horrifying. And there says Sebastian, yeah, that would have been a very nice one to have. Because is it the last round of the Women's Six Nations or second last round currently? I know they're getting close to the end of the competition, but yeah, I hate watching people get broken bones or anything. And also that screaming would have just been hard on the eardrums. And being all right, says Amelia. But currently they have got the 10th. In fact, no, the 10th best scrum in the competition. So only the second worst or somewhere around there currently, which is not ideal for them. And they will be trying to improve on it for this game. It's going to be, a free kick for the Hurricanes. And was it the Thema Wumbo? You don't want, trust me. And there says Obi. Okay, they're going for the scrum once again now. And the Hurricanes will have the feed. Who is that? Jared Prophet. So he is still going to be there on the bench, but it looks at it. And also, why is there an All Black on the field? Ref says there's actually a story behind it, and it was Moana Pasifika brought the wrong kit to the ground. So because of that, the ref would have been clashing with them if he wore his refereeing kit. So because of MOANA Pasifika's wrong kit, it meant that the referee has to wear his training shirt. So that is actually kind of the story behind it at this stage. But now it will be TJ Perenara feeds it in, I should say. Devon Flanders, pop pass off the back to Salisi Rayasi. This is looking like a good backline movement. Quick hands from Aidan Morgan and Ruben Love. Wes Houston got it, but it was slightly forward. Now it's going back, and yeah, gave me chills. Just sheer agony and despair on the poor thing, says Sebastian. And yeah, that's the thing. Leg injuries, like a snap bone as well, that takes a long time to be able to heal up. So if she's lucky, that's the thing. The Women's World Cup is coming up, isn't it? In only about 5 months. So you'd have to argue she's probably not going to be back for that. And it makes sense, says Tesla there. Yeah, because I was wondering the same thing. And the referee was a little bit slower getting out onto the field. So it kind of seemed like there was something that happened. It's actually his debut in Super Rugby. So, like, everyone's probably going to make the jokes about the fact that he's wearing the wrong kit for his first day at work. But there is reasoning behind it. And as oh my God, I'm tired in there. If Emma were to break a biggest bone. And as I says, Obi, and that's a penalty to MOANA Pasifika now in the breakdown. Elbow down first, and that was against Alex Fidel, the first try scorer and only try scorer. She's out of the World Cup. It's been confirmed already. So, yeah, that's a brutal one. Like, for any player to have an injury, like Anton Leonard-Brown, he's just got a 6-month one, but luckily for him, the World Cup for the Kiwis, for the men's side, is next year. And lucky for me, I haven't broken a bone. I don't want to jinx myself. Says Betty Wagon, also say hi to Justin. And there as well, but that is going to be a big push. Justin Sangster, of course, coming off the bench in the later stages. It's going to be nicely thrown by MOANA Pasifika to the front. Caught the Hurricanes napping just a little bit. Then the ref for Ma'ai with a good run. Oh, Wes Houston gets over the ball, though, the winger. And he has been able to get the penalty, giving it straight back into the hands of the Hurricanes. Now, anytime they have had a little bit of defence to do, they've been taking it straight back, which is huge for them at this point of the match. It is going to be kicked high from Aidan Morgan into touch and 40 metres out. Now, Kariru Signs will want to make sure that this one is a straight throw, as they will have a good attacking opportunity if they do manage to get it right. But Kariru Signs, I think the last one just slipped out of their hands a little bit. And All Black Sevens lost to Fiji pretty bad. And there's Max they did. Although the good news is they made it to the final, which I think is something. Balin Sullivan, he dropped that one badly. Now Danny Tawala, it's a foot race here. Wes Houston waiting for the bounce of the ball. It was a risky tactic. Ruben Love, he has done phenomenally. He's taken it back. Now it's going to be the 5-metre scrum. And an early lead by Fiji helps as well. And there's his damage trying too bad. What happened to Anton Leonard-Brown? He was so close to getting 100 Chiefs games this season. And as well says Ed. And also lost, says Max. But that was a good bit of work from Ruben Love. For me, Wes Houston was a little bit too casual there. He was waiting for the little bit of an extra, maybe if the man missed the kick. And then it was just going to be sitting there for him to pick up. But it seemed like out of him or Ruben Love, you'd have to back Houston for pace every day of the week. Even though Lovey did very well to get back and stop them from getting over the line. But now MOANA Pasifika, once again, they are going to have another scrum feed. This time only 5 metres out from the Hurricanes line, as it was taken back by a Ruben Love, but it did save a try. Could have almost been Danny Tawala. Was able to get over the line. It's popped out the back. TJ Perenara, he's jumped on the ball and it's stolen there in the breakdown. And it is Tamatine up against his old side in this matchup. And also what a save says this in yes, All Blacks in finals without two brass competition of over 2 years. And then also we have got their well done All Blacks 7 says MH Joy. And yeah, I did see that they've once again got Samoa in their pool, in Pool B, which is going to be an exciting one. Fiji, I believe, have got the USA, and then the Blitzbox, they have got Australia in their upcoming pool. It's going to be not quite stolen away. And then there's also, I think, England are in there, maybe with South Africa as well. Now a nice little bit of a counter ruck there from the Hurricanes, still available though, and it's going to be Abraham Pole driven backwards. It could end up being a penalty here for not rolling away. No, Blake Gibson does very well to get out of that one. They're all going to be offside there. Well, let's look for the Hurricanes. Tima Whainanoku down the wing. Almost wrestled down. And then he tried to get back up and tried to go again. I believe they've still got the penalty advantage though for MOANA Pasifika. Picked up ball by Sam Molly. Well, it's going to be wrestled down and it's going back for the initial penalty right. They could take 3 or they could go for the corner. I hope they go for the corner for this situation. G'day, all as it Hamish. And there's us says David the Mole. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And hope you are excited for yet another game of Super Rugby, a Tuesday night fixture, a rearranged game. I know that we've still got another game between the Blues and the Crusaders that they will have to make up. At some stage of what's up, bro, says Aman. Yeah, I hope you are doing well. The Moana Greens from Malaysia, 33 degrees, feels like 36 degrees, humid, sunny. And they say, yeah, sounds like it's a little bit hot. And then the AB7s have a lot of new players. They had about 5 debuts, I believe. Not as many as Samoa. They had, I think it was 8 or 9, and still managed to do very well in that competition. I was very impressed with them. Now, Sam Molly from about 20 meters out is going to be a good opportunity here for Moana Pasifika. Flat ball to Tima Whainanoku. And Levi Moe was trying to get that ball off of the Manawatu representative, I believe he is, Tima Whainanoku. His brother Lester Whainanoku, he does play for Tasman throughout the Bunnings NPC, also played for the Crusaders in that game up against the Hurricanes from last weekend, where it was a narrow victory. That's going to be stolen by Devon Flanders in the breakdown. Just not very good ball security there, unfortunately, for Moana Pasifika. Now Salisi Reasi puts boot to ball. It's a big kick downfield, but they have got men back there covering it. Levi Moore takes it. Looks like he is going to be passing this one across to Narea Fumai, who now looks in behind and is going to be looking for that 50-22. Taken nicely by Reasi, though. Just outside of it, Ozakiro says Brody also Crusaders versus Blue should be a beauty. It should be. Now right through Ruben Love. Finds the offload up. It's stolen back by Moana Pasifika. And it was in the form of Alamana Matanga. I'm watching you with the big TV in the lounge, on the big TV in the lounge. So I do appreciate that a lot, mate. Yeah, I hope you are enjoyed so far. Tamatine pass it across into the hands of Alamana Matanga. It's very dangerous in that loose forward trio for Moana Pasifika. Quick hands, just not quite working out for them. Ball's still available. It pops out the back. And Nakuru has to jump on it to keep it just on the side of Moana Pasifika. Counter ruck from the Hurricanes. They have been ruthless in the breakdown so far. Hey, Dave says OB, and also we've got the high Tesla Sebastian. Hope you're all well. And also we've got the hey, David. All as well says Ed. Now it's going to be Abraham Pole breaking out of the tackle with Parsons. Penalty to the Hurricanes. That is not what they want to know. I hope everyone is doing well. Says Amelia. Oh, Sam Slade's not doing so well. He has got a cut on the top of his forehead that is running it down the face. And unfortunately, when you're wearing a white kit, it's pretty obvious that you busted open when that kit turns into the red one, which Moana Pasifika, to be fair to them, they do have a kit that has red in it. It's just not this one. So Henry Slade more than likely might need a blood bin trip in a very short moment. No Artie or Julian tonight. No, neither of the Savia brothers. No Geordie Barrett or Duplessis Karefi. There's a couple more names to mention. Still no Asafa Moore or Dane Coles. And also no James O'Reilly, who was going to be in the starting lineup for this matchup, but unfortunately just ended up with a late exclusion. Oh, my God. It's our first yawn of the day. That's not too bad overall, but it is a penalty to the Hurricanes. And they've actually decided that they do want to take on the 3 here. So it is going to be the Hurricanes here with Ruben Love as their kicker for this matchup. He hasn't really had too much to do throughout the season off the kicking tee, as Geordie Barrett normally has that tee firmly grasped and doesn't normally like to let it go for anyone. 16 and a half minutes in. Ruben Love trying to make the score 8-0 in favour of the Hurricanes here. Taking his time, lining it up. Strikes it, got plenty of distance on it. It's gone over, and now the score is going to be 8-0 in favour of the Hurricanes. Hello, Amelia. Still buzzing from the Rebels game, says Sebastian. And yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome to see how the Rebels follow it up. And also, he made me yawn. Sorry about that one. And also, Roger Tuivasa should be back for the Crusaders match. I don't believe so. I think he's still 2 weeks away. The second Crusaders versus Blues match, I believe he will be. But yeah, this one this weekend, him and Akira Ioane both missing for that game that is taking place this weekend. But when they do announce the lineups, which I believe will be either tomorrow or the next day, we will be having that video go up on the channel. So be sure to check that out. So we have been announcing plenty of the Hurricanes, or pretty much any New Zealand side, and also Fiji we've been doing recently for the Fijian Rua. Currently now, TJ Perenara going across in the hands of Tom Parsons, drops the head, crawls forward just a little bit more. And now Perenara once again will be firing this one back into the pocket to Aidan Morgan, who has to strike it quickly. He's got a good bit of distance on that one. Alagi Vizinier is trying to say that they have to take it straight back, and the referees agree. But that one, and Blues only play Crusaders once. And this is Max. So have they not rescheduled their second match? Because they did have their first game postponed, which is why I thought that they would have another game up against them, unless they just gave both sides 2 points and said, we just won't worry about that game. Or else then they certainly will want to play it, because every point is crucial in this competition when it comes to home finals. Good drive forward from Alamana Matanga, only 10 metres out now for Moana Pasifika. Round the side, nice pop up from Pole. He's dropped the ball though, and it's a penalty though to Moana Pasifika. No clear release for that one. And also, yes, I am. I'm going to the Rebels game this Friday night. Not so confident against the Reds, but I know I'll have a blast back in the Rebels. So yeah, the games that are coming up this weekend, for anyone who doesn't know, it is Crusaders Blues on the Friday night, 7:05. Rebels Reds also on the Friday night. That is taking place at 9:45. Then we've got 3 back-to-back games on the Saturday. The Chiefs taking on Moana Pasifika. That is from 4:35 onwards. Highlanders versus Hurricanes at 7:05. And then at 9:45, the last game of the weekend, it will be Western Force taking on the Waratahs. And this is the last week until we get to see New Zealand sides taking on Australian sides. So less than 14 days away till we get to see some Trans-Tasman action going short side here. Alamana Matanga just short of the line once again. Blake Gibson, he almost was able to turn that one over. Abraham Pulley getting close to the line. Half an inch off it. Oh, okay, they're going to be checking this one. And our Blues only ever Crusaders once. Says Max and hi guys. Says it was Cullen there, and also Bowden versus Richie. And there says Danny. Yeah, hopefully they are the two that we get to see in Champions Cup. Heard on Sunday, mate. Says Sebastian. Yeah. Although I will mention they did very well to get to where they did. To only be down by, I believe it was 14 in the end. Like that could have easily been their Champions Cup completely over if they lost by 20 plus. But they're going to be at home for the next game this weekend. I hope they can do it. I hope they get through. And they waited until Dan Carter retired to bring in the 50-22 rule. Says the new inclusion in Super Rugby. Same with the goal line dropout, which might be what this is if it is considered as held up, or maybe if it's double movement. I think Polly, he's definitely over there, but it's whether or not he was dragged over the line after initially being short that we will have to look at. Okay, so he's short. He's still short. Then he gets slid over the line by his teammates. And I believe I think that's still held up. I don't think that's going to be a try. In 14 days till the biggest weekend in rugby happens, and I'm absolutely buzzing. And then will you start Rugby Challenge 4-game play against this Cullen? It is coming very soon. It is just we were waiting till pretty much when we get to see New Zealand sides taking on Australian sides was when we were going to be bringing it back, just with how much has been happening in the last little while. Now that cricket's out of the way for a little bit longer for the international side of things, it does mean we get a little bit more time off to be able to make other videos pretty much, because anytime I get spare time, it just goes into making a different video that we weren't making the week before. So, yeah, we've got plenty coming up in a very short moment. Abraham Polly, he was close to going over the line. And I was like, yeah, he says Cullen. That one is over. Currently 5-metre scrum, and it is going to be in the hands of Jonathan Tamatine. Moana Pasifika, they're saying they need to turn this into points. They've had a couple good opportunities. Going to be fed in nicely. TJ Perenara, he's waiting for that ball. Waiting for the perfect opportunity to jump on it now. Passing it off to Ria Famai. Metre short. Amatine quickly recycle ball. Henry Stowers almost does his ankle trying to get to that one. Now they've got a lot of big forwards all right next to the breakdown. I believe it was Joe Apakatoa who got forced backwards. Matanga now with his carry. And Sam Molly joining that breakdown extremely quickly to keep it on the side of the Moana Pasifika side. Now Levi Amoa, he steps. He runs a bit too high though, which does force him to get driven backwards just a little bit more. I think Devon Flanders looks like he's staying down currently, so hopefully that's nothing too serious for himself. Now Nakuru with a spin. He's just short of the line once again here, but Hurricanes have been able to steal that one. And the breakdown, no, it pulls back up. It's going back for the initial penalty, and Lulagi Vizanier is arguing. Hang on, I've got over the line there. But not supporting his body weight initially is the call. There was a knock-on by Moana Pasifika, hence why they can't continue. But Balin Sullivan was the man who was penalised there. Now, I'm a bit worried for Devon Flanders there. I believe that is who it is anyway. Here it is. Or is it Tom Parsons? It is Devon Flanders. And it looks like a relatively serious knee injury here for him. And I was like, go Canes. Says Cullen. Currently, hopefully, Devon Flanders, he can continue. I think he just got a hard shot on the hip by the looks of it here. Or maybe in the knee. And like they're saying, Devon Flanders, he did get greeted by a couple of his Hawke's Bay teammates. And I was like, DSS, mate, sure, yeah, it doesn't look too good for Devon Flanders here. I hope he can continue. I think he just got a real bad bang on the hip and also just kind of twisted his leg in a weird way. He's trying to put some weight on it. I think he's going to be all right. Or maybe not, because it looks like now he's going to be trying to walk it off a little bit. Is he going to continue? It looks like he wants to, even though he can hardly stand on one leg. Right, they've got to be strategic here. You don't want to risk him. Is it better to just take him off the field for this game? But currently 21 minutes in. Where is Devon Flanders? We're looking around for him. I think he's rejoined the huddle, has he? No, he hasn't. It is going to be the replacement for him now. And it is big number 20, TK Howden, who is making his way out there now for the Hurricanes. Right, what does he do here, Devon Flanders? Oh, yeah, no, he got his knee twisted there, Devon Flanders. And it looks like he is going to be gone for the rest of the game. So that is one less sub that they will be able to make later on in this matchup. Now, Christian Laliafano kicks it for touch. And it's going to be another attacking opportunity for MOANA Pasifika, who are currently only sitting 5 meters out from the line. But TK Howden on the field a lot earlier than he would have been anticipating. They'll probably have a bit of a reshuffle, you would think, in their loose forward trio. Maybe Blake Gibson goes to number 8. It's gone to the back. Very nicely taken here. I think it's going through Henry Stowers, just short of line. It's another advantage here for MOANA Pasifika. Now, Tamatine, he's looking off to the side. It's going to be a nice step over the line. And it's the number 19 for this game, the man who's only just got out there. And he is the forward. Michael Curry scores it. And that is going to be the second try of the match for this one. And it is MOANA Pasifika who get it. And also has the ball. It was MOANA Pasifika and it was Michael Curry 5 meters out. I know that pain, my knee just ran and hide in there as well. Now MOANA Pasifika, they have been able to get themselves back into this contest. MOANA Pasifika, there we go. And it was another 4-2 forward tries so far throughout the early stages of this match. And Michael Curry with a very nice step. We'll go like that, and we will go like that. MOANA Pasifika back into this matchup. Christian Laliafano going to have a good opportunity to be able to line up this kick. And also we have got there, Hamish, hope you're doing well. Just curious, when do the Australian teams take on New Zealand teams? And are they playing them each other twice, says Aiden. So they are going to be happening not this weekend, but next weekend, only once per side, other than a couple rivalry matches, I believe. But I'm not too sure whether or not we've had those rivalry matches already for a couple of them, because I know that MOANA Pasifika, they play Fiji and Drua, or they were supposed to be playing Fiji and Drua twice. So I don't know whether or not that is going to be the case now, or whether there is some sort of change in the format after some delays. Christian Laliafano brings it round beautifully. No, he doesn't. It didn't quite come enough. It ended up going around quite drastically, but just missing out to the side. Got to try MOANA. And the SSTs, they are nicely done by Michael Curry there. Went over the line. Couple big taps on the head. Okay, Bloodbin's coming back out. So Michael Curry, he scores the try. And now he's taken back off as he was only the Bloodbin replacement. A little bit of a shame for Curry. He did end up getting the try, and now he's got to leave. But he'll be fresh for the next opportunity that he does end up getting, which might be relatively soon. And this one as well. One moment, we will go like this. And we will go like that. There we go. I was just making sure we were running all smoothly, and we are indeed. So now MOANA Pasifika, so down 25 meters out from the line. Now Jonathan Tamatena goes back across to Christian Laliafano. Pop pass up, Danny Tuala. Now driving forward with a great run, Alamanda Matanga, and other games taking place in Australia or New Zealand. The first initial ones are taking place in Australia, but then after that, I believe we do have some in New Zealand, some in Australia, and they're kind of switching between the two. Now Ruben Love's got this one on the halfway line, tries to step around the defence, but Levi Amua able to make a great tackle on him on the halfway line. Perenara looking short side out to Salisi Reasi now, who has got a lethal offload, doesn't get to use it in that one, but that will be from his experience playing sevens. And I did learn the other day that Ari Savia, Salisi Reasi, who else was there? Akira Ioane and Rico Ioane were all almost in the same sevens team. Imagine having to play up against them. That would be probably quite a daunting task. Perenara now goes back across the Reed. Princep gets back up, goes again, as he was not held. Perenara back now to Morgan. First receiver linking up with the fullback Love. Peter Umaga Jensen fights a little pop pass up to Balin Sullivan. Now Reasi kicks it behind Blake Gibson. Going to be chasing after this one. It's slowly curving towards the touchline. And Loragi Vizier gives it a big boot, although it went pretty much straight into touch. which is not what he would have been wanting. And now the Hurricanes have got themselves the line out 25 metres out from MOANA's line. And the pressure, that's the thing. MOANA Pasifika, if they can keep that pressure on the Hurricanes for long enough, we could see this game go deep into the game like we did see between them last time. The golden point finish between the two matchups, or the two sides. Now Perenara, this is looking good for the back line of the Hurricanes. Pop pass, Ruben Love puts it down. Little knock on the ground from Danny Tuala. And it is going to be the scrum feed for MOANA Pasifika. The handling error is quite prominent throughout the early stages of this game. I don't believe the rain is falling currently, but it was a little bit earlier on, which might cause a little bit of surface moisture, a little bit of slippiness and slidiness. Currently, Corey Jane, they're having a bit of a chat with him. It's been a while since we've seen him in their Hurricanes kit, but he used to fly down the wing, Corey Jane. Currently, like he's saying, you don't want to try and outmuscle MOANA Pasifika because or else then you just get broken. And also, whereas Akira he is still injured, but he is going to be back in approximately 2 weeks' time. So hopefully in time for those matchups up against Australian sides. But if not the first week, the next week after that, he should be able to be back and raring to go. But this weekend, anyone who doesn't know, Crusaders, they've got the big matchup of playing the Blues. Beauden Barrett versus Richie Mo'unga is what we're hoping for. And then also, when you think about it, out on the wing, you could have Caleb Clark, he's still suspended, isn't he? Could have instead Rico Ioane in the midfield up against David Havili, a midfield combo that we have seen quite a bit for the All Blacks as of late. You got George Bridge out on one wing, Mark Talia, Sever Reese, Will Jordan at fullback, up against the youngster, maybe Stephen Perofeta or Zahn Sullivan. Might get to start that one. Now Tamatine on the 22. Christian Liliafano goes off to Danny Tuala, trying to break through. He's got a great leg drive. He's wrestled down by Balin Sullivan, though. Tamatine pop pass up to Henry Stowers. Now trying to go through the side of the breakdown. It was Tom Parsons. Didn't quite get it right there. Out to Tima Whainanoku, bumping off the tackle of Salisi Rayasi. But now he has been able to finish it. Tamatine once again. And he is up against this ex-side in the Hurricanes, which is why that win over them for the last match would have been so amazing for him. Having been in a Hurricanes kit for so long, and then to be able to win one up against your old side always felt pretty nice. I believe that was going to be, they were told to use it. Now Ruben Love with the step, going through here. Great stepping from the fullback. Flick up to Aidan Morgan. Now at the DJ Perenara wrestled down. He finds the offload to Ruben Love, who was wrestled backwards in a hard tackle by Time Stowers. Still going to be available for them. Now going back, TK out on Wes Horson. There's the man on the outside, and Peter Umaga Jensen, if he can find him. I think he was in touch. Yeah, he was. Just ran out of space on the wing. Just see Simi Radradra could be leaving City for Toulouse Rugby Club. I know that it was rumoured after his game up against South Sharks that he had an option of 2 French clubs that both kind of said, you know what, Radradra, you want to come sign for us? And if it's Toulouse, that's a big one, because I know that they were pretty dominant last year, although they've been struggling a little bit this year, unfortunately. I think that could be the loss of Cheslin and Colby out on the wing. Now Toulon actually have him. He's going pretty nicely. Now currently the ball goes up. It's stolen by the Hurricanes there. And now they have been able to get it back. Aidan Morgan trying to run straight at a couple of the big men. That is not a good idea. He's wrestled down by Sam Molly. Now Isaiah Walker-Leawere. It's great to have him back in action, and he's already got a very good solid run for his first carry of the match. Going back across now. They've got numbers on the outside. Where's Olsen dodges? Gives it off to Blake Gibson. Wrestled down, unable to find the pop pass up. But now around the side, it's going to be Alex Fido. Oh, he was close to reaching out for that one. Oh, okay. Well, Tom Parsons has got it down. Fair play. I thought Alex Fido was close, and he must have been. Then Parsons just took it off him on the ground and scored the try, I think. But Tom Parsons scores it for the Hurricanes. At the moment, it's a try-scoring fiasco for the forward pack. You're going to have to check this one again, I think, because I'm wondering how it went from Parsons, or it went from who initially had an Alex Fido to Parsons. Okay, they're looking to see whether or not there was a knock-on from Alex Fido before we saw the try scored by Tom Parsons. It just looked a little bit too smooth to be true for that one. Like they're saying, Alex Fido, he was short. Have no idea how it made it into Parsons' hands, which I think is what the TMO is also trying to work out here for the Hurricanes. Right. So Alex Fido, he had the ball. He had the ball. He drops the ball. I think that's a drop of the ball. Yep, that one's going to be no try for Parsons. There we go. We will go like that. And it is going to remain as just the 2 tries for this matchup so far. And Alex Fidel just a little bit unlucky putting that ball down. And also we have got this 8-6 score. It makes this match exciting. And there's easy to make sure, yeah, it could certainly be a close finish between the 2 sides. That is for sure. Currently now it will be the scrum feed for Moana Pasifika. Only 5 meters out from their line. 30 minutes into this game now. Aidan Morgan, he's had a mixed bag of what has happened for him so far throughout this match. Handling errors. Moana Pasifika have not made a single handling error throughout that first half, whereas we have seen 5, I believe it was, for the Hurricanes, but possession very even, just a little bit in favour of Moana Pasifika. And now in the front rows, Tavita Mafaleo. Also alongside him, Alex Fidel, and the man at number 2 for this match is actually Kariru Symes. That is because of the late change that the Hurricanes did have due to, I believe it's an injury to James O'Reilly. And also I'm watching the game now. And there's Cullen. And yeah, hopefully you have been enjoying it. Currently it's close between these 2 sides. 8 points to 5. Ball's gone in. TJ Perenara once again trying to make a nuisance of himself, waiting for that ball to come out the back. And now Lolagi Vizinia kicks it downfield, clearing the lines of the Hurricanes of Moana Pasifika. And now 22 meters out, it is going to be another attacking line out for the Hurricanes. So they just really need to find a way out of their half currently, Moana Pasifika. They've been surviving well. That was a close opportunity. Samuel Slade looks like he's wearing a swim cap. That is because of all of the tape that they have had to put on his head to stop the cut. And 5 handling errors to the Canes, 0 to Moana, says Tesla. Now good rolling maul going forward. I believe it was Isaiah Walker-Leawera using all of that strength that he has got. Pop pass up into the hands of TK Howden. And currently, I think the Hurricanes have worked out something, and that is they make meters every time they carry it with their forwards. They will just be using them strategically now. Big Isaiah Walker-Leawera, you've got to drag him down, and they have done just that. Now back across TK Howden. Get in close to the line also. They've got the advantage here around the side. That's over. Surely that's over. No, they're short. And they are going to have one more attacking opportunity. TJ Perenara, he might actually back himself. Time off. Okay. They're checking whether or not this one has made it to the line. You'd have to argue that maybe TJ Perenara was about to grab that one and go for the try himself if they did continue. But I believe that they are checking that one first of all. And also TMO says Cullen. So I believe TJ, when he was going to go for it, he kind of pointed it out to the ref. Hey, that's on the line. So the referee said, yeah, all right, we'll check that one then. Now, the TMO, Aaron Patterson, another opportunity. Try and work out if this is a try. This would be Blake Gibson going over. If it is, he got close. He got close. He's close. He's very close. I think that's short, though. And then once again, it's that little extra push from his teammates, similar to what we saw for Moana Pasifika. Okay, so that's going to be short of the line. Overturn. That's 2 overturned tries in the last little kind of slight moment. No try. And it is going to be now, I believe, a 5-meter scrum for the Hurricanes. Or actually, they're going back for that initial penalty. And it looks like Ruben Love might be going for the 3 here, although the rest of the team are making their way. I think they all thought that it was a try for the Hurricanes, so they weren't really bothering with having everyone up there. But now TJ Perenara, he's got that ball in hand. What are they doing? They give it to Aidan Morgan. They want the line out here once again and play the match. The TMO says Tessa, yeah, he's had a couple decisions to make already through only the first 32 minutes of this fixture. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back with all the games of Super Rugby this weekend. And alongside that, we are going to have the Sevens coming up extremely soon as well. And that is Vancouver Sevens. Those I don't know, also try, says Cullen. I don't think he might be a little bit ahead of myself if that is the case. So be sure not to put too many spoilers in the chat. But now they were driving forward here for the Hurricanes. It pops out the side, and it is going to now be, I believe, the try for, who's that? Who's popped up? Was it Alex Fidel? Yes, it was. He just got slapped across the face by one of his teammates. Or was it P2 Munga Jensen? Okay, it might be Blake Gibson. Is it Blake Gibson? They've got to check it maybe once again, but I believe Gibson, he was just short before, and now he has been able to get himself over the line. Where is he? Where is Blake Gibson? He goes down there, right? It's whoever's legs those are. But then they change the camera angle. Right, where is he? There he is in the middle. Pick him up, put him down. It was Blake Gibson who was able to get the try in the 33rd minute of the game now. And the Hurricanes, that is now the third forward try in the game. Weird. We've had about 5 try opportunities. And also, we've got that bloody Alcalon. And there's Sebastian. And also, just watch the spoilers. There's Petty. And also, we've got that MOANA is more interested in the ref in the game. Says Lex Axel. Is that because he's wearing a different color kit or because of his, I guess, appearance for that one? But at this stage, I mean, he's wearing the black kit, of course, because of MOANA Pasifika wearing the wrong kit to the match. So they actually had to change it up a little bit. But now it is going to be Ruben Love who lines up this kick. It's coming round. It's coming round. It's sneaking in about as close as you can be without hitting the post for that one. Now it is going to be 33 minutes into this game. The Hurricanes, they have got a 15-5 lead. And, I mean, you'd have to say Blake Gibson, he probably did deserve that one as he was very close for that last try. Now he's been able to go over. And I was like, mate. And then there as well says Lex Axel. Now currently it is going to be opportunity for Christian Lealiafano to once again kick off. Probably kicked off a few too many times in this first half for his liking. Currently, as the Hurricanes, they have been able to get themselves a couple of tries and also the conversion or the penalty for 3. Parsons with another run forward. Now going back, it's a pop pass up to Balin Sullivan. Has now gone down just outside of the 22. Now Perenara fires it back into the pocket and Ruben Love gives it an almighty heave downfield. Nicely taken by Christian Lealiafano. Looked like he was going to be kicking it back for a second and instead offloads it across to Lolagi Vizania. Good run forward by Salisi Rayasi. Tell you what, he's had his hands full. He's not only had to go up against Lolagi Vizania, also Tima Whaina Nuku, another player that he has had to watch out for. Good stepping from Christian Lealiafano. It's now been wrestled down by TJ Perenara. On the halfway line, as there meant to be a cyclone up north. I believe there is at some stage. I think it's supposed to get very windy tomorrow in Wellington. Or somewhere around there. So they're probably lucky that the weather's as nice as it is for this game currently on the Tuesday night. It's going to be stolen in the ground on the breakdown. Nope, it's a little knock on though. And also Rob Leota has a hamstring injury and that's why he has not played in the Reels, but I don't know when he's due back. So hopefully it's not too long because I think he'll be a huge player to have for the Rebels as he just brings that physical presence. And near the end of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, he really found his own in terms of that form and it did earn him that Wallabies cap. Currently, the Hurricane supporters are in attendance for this matchup, but also a few MOANA Pasifika supporters, which is great to see for a Tuesday night game of Super Rugby. I believe there's only one more game that they do have to try and make up, and I believe that is going to be Blues versus Crusaders, but that's whether or not they do actually decide to do that game. Currently now it is going to be the scrum feed for the Hurricanes. And also, did you see the Wellington Phoenix are playing their first home game this season at Sky Stadium on Saturday? Oh, see, I didn't know that it was that soon, but I know it was coming up relatively close because I know that they've got another game tomorrow up against the Perth Glory. It's going to be a penalty to MOANA Pasifika in the breakdown. Either way, when Leota returns, it'll be huge for us. They certainly will be. It is expected to intensify as an extra tropical low as it tracks southeast just offshore the weather or the upper North Island today and Wednesday. And maybe very close to the East Cape on Wednesday. And there as well. I feel like my reading of that is exactly why I'm not a weatherman. Because that was not very smooth, was it? And all this process stuff. I welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Currently, some good pressure from MOANA Pasifika. Then it was Principe who had to grab that ball. He's actually playing at 8 for this game. Yeah, for the Hurricanes due to that injury of Devon Flanders. Now on the halfway line, it's a little bit closer than that. Now up to the 22. It will be MOANA Pasifika with the ball in hand. 3 minutes left of this first half. Christian Lealiafano finds a little pop pass up. Just out from the 22 still. It is going to be available for MOANA Pasifika if they can put together some phases here. That ball's gone backwards, luckily for them it went after who's the commentators. And there, from what I hear, it is Grant Nisbet as one of the two. And I'll try and tell you who it is when I hear the other guy. A little bit of game management. Who is that? Whose voice is that? I can't quite work out. I think we heard him quite a bit throughout the Bunnings NPC though, and everything good, bro. And that's their stuff. It certainly is. Sevens this weekend. Going to be pretty awesome to see how it does go this guy. Whether deal might be off. Yeah, I think it might be, unfortunately, unless I do a lot more of the learning about weather conditions. What's it called? Meteorology, is it? Is that the right word? TJ Peronato short side. Gives it off now to Wes Hawson, who breaks a couple tackles. He is going quick here. Needs someone to link up with. He's still spinning out of the tackles. Wes Hawson moves up to the 22 now for the Hurricanes. So they've gone 50 metres. Can they go the 75 and get themselves over the line? Balin Sullivan getting closer. Israel Dad, not quite. It isn't the one who I'm hearing at the moment, unless he is maybe sideline commentator for this game. Ruben Love goes off to Salisi Rayasi. Just keeps himself in the field of play for the Hurricanes. They're playing under advantage. 5 phases in. Now it's gone up to Tom Parsons, who just is willing to take that contact. And how was the Sevens? Good to see the Oceania teams coming up again. Yeah, it was pretty awesome to see those guys back in there. Where can we watch the game? What country are you in, Richard? Do let me know, and I'll give you the best option depending on where you are. Quick hands there. And now the Hurricanes, I mean, they've got Kareru Symes if they needed him. But Wes Hawson, too much pace, scores the try. Christian Cullen. Is that Christian Cullen's voice? If it is, I never realised that was his voice. I've heard it quite a few times. It is nicely done by Wes Hawson. He's had a good run. He almost, you'd have to say, deserved to try a couple of minutes ago with that massive run. About 5 players he was able to beat in that run initially, which did set up the forward momentum for them, the Hurricanes, to be able to get themselves over the try line for their 3rd time in this match, 1 away from a possible bonus point. Okay, they're saying they've still got time at this stage for the first half, so I assume we will see the conversion and then maybe one more reset, unless they are strategic with it. And is it, and as I says KW for that one, is it? Not sure. Not sure. They'll probably show it at halftime more than likely. And also the Southern Hemisphere nations has smashed it apart from South Africa. And also, Cullen, I assume now your account, if they did time you out, it will be after that 5 minutes now. So you will be able to come back on that one if you do want to. But that kick has gone over now. And they're going to have an extra. Okay, we've still got time for one more kickoff. And gosh, Hurricanes running away. And the Southern Hemisphere nations has smashed it apart from South Africa. And there's Sebastian here, the one side that everyone expected would have a follow-up good tournament, unfortunately just really had a bit of a downfall there. But at the end of the day, there's only onwards and upwards for them from here, I would say, for the Blitz box in that Vancouver tournament. They actually did win the last Canada Sevens. Last Canada Sevens or last 2 Canada Sevens? Not too sure which one it is, but Christian Lelefano tries to kick it off 10. It doesn't go the 10 metres. And now that will be halftime in this game. And it is 22 points to 5. And also, gosh, Hurricanes running away. And there says MH Shaw, yeah, it's going to have to be very careful for Moana Pasifika for the first 10 to 15 minutes of this next half, or else they could easily end up losing this game by a bonus point. But if they fight back hard, they'll have a good chance of being able to possibly take it deep into the second 40 minutes. And as Rayasi been good, we've seen him a couple times, not really with the ball in hand. We've seen like one run from him. But overall, his defense, he's had to make tackles on Lolagi Vizinier, and also another man that he has been marking heavily has been Tima Whainānuku, and in that regard, he's been doing very nicely, not allowing them down the wing. So I'd say he's had a solid defensive one, and no one's timing out Cullen. We can't lie, it's tempting. And then as I says, Sebastian also, we have got there, I can bloody hear my neighbours watching Lorax songs, and that Moana needs to strategize and come back in the second or early second half to stay in the match. I believe that's actually what they did in the first match between the two sides, wasn't it? Liquid. It may have seemed like I was having a long drink. I was just having small sips and try and keep the voice going, because it's probably going to end up disappearing for this weekend. Unfortunately, like during the weekend, because last weekend we did, I think it was like 20 something hours in 2 days, which probably isn't the best for the vocal cords overall. But for now, the voice is still slightly working. The Hurricanes versus Moana Pasifika lineups video I did sounded a little bit worse for wear. That was filmed last night. But I will quickly get you guys some stats to do with that first half of action. And hopefully the second half we see a little bit of a comeback from MOANA Pasifika. We want to see a close game between these two sides, that is for sure. Currently now we will go here. Okay, I think they're confused at what round. I think this one was initially rescheduled from about round 4, wasn't it? Round 4, round 5. Might have been round 5. No, round 6. When was this? There we go. No, that's full time between the two sides. I don't think they know when this game is taking place. Oh, no, there we go. They've counted it as round 9. But also the thing I love about rugby is that anything can happen. But going to the Rebels game this Friday usually means I'm sure as he ain't confident. And there as well, says Amelia. You never know. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And I'm excited to watch MOANA Pasifika versus the Chiefs. And yeah, that game is going to be the early game on the Saturday. And that one will be taking place at 4:35 p.m. Well, that one, and we will be live for that game on the channel alongside some sevens for the weekend and every other Super Rugby fixture that will be taking place. But currently in this first half, we've had 3 tries for the Hurricanes, 1 for MOANA Pasifika. The Hurricanes having double the running meters, sitting there 300 meters carry compared to the 155 of MOANA Pasifika, and also defenders beaten is actually quite high for both sides here. 18 for the Hurricanes, 11 for MOANA Pasifika, and then also as another stat, clean breaks, we've seen 5-0 in favour of the home side, the Hurricanes. Looking through at some tackles, missed tackles so far for MOANA Pasifika. They've missed 18 tackles, which might end up backfiring on them in the later stages. They've only had to make 60 though. All right, and also the thing is though, we don't have the best record against the Reds, but either way, I'm backing the boys for the full 80 minutes, says Amelia there. And yeah, you never know what could happen if the Rebels, they must be at home. So I guess that's one thing that they have got in their favour is their home crowd advantage. And hopefully they do use every single bit of it and we do get a very close game. And come on, MOANA, let's do it on the second half. And there says tougher. Currently 47% possession for MOANA Pasifika. So actually having less of it in the end. Whereas at about 30 minutes through, they had more by only a couple percent. Over 100 running meters for Wes Wilson, though, in that first half. 105, 7 carries, 8 defenders beaten, 4 clean breaks. That's very impressive. Compared that the second most is Ruben Love with 69 meters. And then other than that, the next highest is 20. And that was actually Isaiah Walker-Leawere also beating a couple defenders in the process. Then for MOANA Pasifika, Alamana Matanga having the most running meters out of any player, 39, and also having 2 defenders beaten, 35 for Lolagi Vizinier for this matchup so far. So hopefully the second half is just as, I guess, entertaining and as quick-paced as it is here. And also we are playing at Amy Park for the next 3 weeks. And yes, get something on the scoreboard. Go MOANA, you can do it. So here's MH Choi there. But 10 tackles made by Tom Parsons, the only man for the Hurricanes to reach double figures, and actually the only man in the whole game to reach double figures for tackles. The closest to him is actually Henry Stowers, who has made 9 so far in this matchup. But they are just showing Alex Fidel. He scored the opening try of the game. It was very impressive. And man, this MOANA team is as well as Richard. Although it's a new competition, it's a new side for this matchup as well. Like half these guys hadn't even had a Super Rugby cap leading into this game. So I feel like, I mean, it's probably pretty harsh on them for their very first season and only about their 7th game of playing. The Fijian Drua, we've got to remember they played in the NRC. They've had time to build that chemistry and just trying to re-find it here at Super Rugby level. MOANA Pasifika didn't have that, I guess you could say, that luxury of being able to play like the old squad. And as well says Richard, although the old squad for MOANA Pasifika, I assume you're talking about the side that lost to the Maori All Blacks, if I'm not wrong there. But a lot of those players are now playing for other sides in Super Rugby and also playing overseas. I mean, you're looking at Josh Ioane, Michael Alalatoa currently tearing it up in the URC for Leinster. And man, and the Chiefs, they were able to sign Josh Ioane for that one. But currently now the line-out stolen. There's been 4 stolen line-outs so far for the Hurricanes throughout the early stages. So that is pretty huge for them. But meters gained, they've actually only got them down as 219. And also we have got there, get some bottles of Viliama for the Usos. Need to regenerate the stamina and confidence. And there's our situation. Yes, that one, says Richard. But yeah, that side, I think that game when they did have them, that was never going to be because they knew that they were going to have a Super Rugby side. That was just so that the Maori All Blacks had a series that they could play up against, and it got to showcase the Pacific Island talent that is around for that one. But that one's going to be nicely done by Wes Wilson. They've got meters gained, actually 89 for him on the screen, but he has been able to beat 8 defenders throughout the early stages of the game from only a total of 7 carries And then he has been able to score himself the try as well, which was a much-earned try. Well, Wes Houston, who was able to run it in. Looks like he's been bulking up a little bit, Wes Houston, because he's not the biggest player in the world in terms of height, but if he is a solid individual, or maybe it's just because we don't see Julian Savi out on the other wing, so it makes him look a little bit bigger. And also, Baxis Betty and also Williama would let the Hur go 100-5 in there. Says Richard, but currently now around the side. They were close a couple times, MOANA Pasifika, but just unlucky with being able to make their way over the line. In fact, I think was it Alamanda Matanga initially who was extremely close. Also, Nakuru only made a shorter line. Pole was actually the other one that we thought had almost made his way over the try line. Only MOANA Pasifika, though, it's an important second half for them to be able to go on and possibly get themselves not just a win, but some form of points on the board would be absolutely ideal here for MOANA Pasifika. Apparently, the tackles made, they have missed 18 for themselves after their 48 made tackles, 56 tackles made by the Hurricanes, but they have also missed quite a few throughout the early stages, and kicking meters just a little bit in favor of the Hurricanes. And also we've got their two props, or two bottles of Williama. A prop could outrun a wing, running backwards, says Sebastian. And there as well. At the end of the day, if MOANA Pasifika, if they can find that next level for the early stages, even a Powerade might do it. It's not quite as effective, but a Powerade would be all right. Just get the electrolytes back in the body. Go out there for the first 10 minutes. The guys who know they're getting subbed, such as the front row, Apakatoa, Molly, and Polly, they might as well go out there and just throw absolutely everything to it. Caution to the wind for the first 10 minutes, because at the end of the day, the Hurricanes, they've already had to make one of their subs, and that is Devon Flanders. So TK Howden, he will start getting tired in the later stages, and that is one less change that they are able to make. So you've got to try and wear them down, not just mentally, but also physically out there on the field. Because looking through, MOANA Pasifika, Michael Curry, he came on the field. He scored the try as soon as he was out there. They've also got Pinatoa, Finau, Kalamatangi, like I was mentioning, Lindenmuth, and Rain Nui as the front row replacements. Then you've got that youthful side of Lincoln McClutchy alongside Henry Teifu, who's very good at crashing the ball up extremely well. But TK Howden already out on the field. Kareru Symes is actually already out on the field as well. We don't even know if the Hurricanes have got a number 16 for this game, as James Riley was a very late exclusion from their lineup. And then alongside that, they have still got Cam Roygard, Tay Walden, and Josh Morby, who did have a very good game the last time that he did play as well. And also, only problem is I just need a piss break every 10 minutes. And there's Sebastian. So what you're saying is give it to those big boys in the front row who are getting subbed off. Strategy for that one. Liking it, and loved to have some Williama Abasama is on. So orders locked down from COVID as well. Says Stuffer the match, because I know that we've got a game going to Suva Fiji for the Fijian draw. I would absolutely love to see Manu Samoa, playing in Tonga, the Cook Islands, playing all around the Pacific Islands. And I hope that that is going to be something that they inject into the competition if they can next year, so that they have a lot more home games and aren't completely based out of Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland, just because I feel like we've already got the 5 teams here in New Zealand. You might as well give it to someone else, give them an opportunity to host it. Bring the love of rugby, live rugby, back to the Pacific Islands, as they have been lacking it a little bit lately, as they haven't really had too many touring sides going there. I'd love to see a series between Samoa and the Barbarians in Samoa. I think that is actually the goal. And man, there's a Williama, bruv. Need some taxi for the boys. And there that says Richard. Currently now, I believe we've got a UDAD, which means we're probably pretty close to the second half getting underway. Although first we've got a golf ad. Okay. Not sure where this golf ad is going. Oh, no, it's a TAB ad, I think it is. And also there, Colby to Point Villiers. I give Wes Houston a go in the black jersey. Size doesn't matter. Says all. And yeah, at the end of the day, Wes Houston, he's been looking absolutely phenomenal for himself. And I really hope he does get the opportunity at some stage in the future, although I'm worried that they're going to do what they did last year. And everyone was like, Lester Whaina, Nuku, Jonah Nareki, or it will be possibly Salisi Rayasi. They were the 3 names everyone wanted to see for that wing. We didn't get any of them. We got George Bridge. That was it. although they have Rico Ioane, but he was down as a centre. So hopefully, if they are going to add a couple more players, definitely in the games, like just to get them in the squad environment, you've got a tour in New Zealand. You've got nothing to lose adding a couple more guys into that. So I get Whainā Nuku in there, get also a couple of those other guys in the forward pack. Give Peter Gus Sawakula a go. And also, who else we got as young players? Just pack a side full of players. Even if they don't play, just give them a chance. And so as Wes, a right or left winger, he's been playing on both wings. What's his turf of choice? I think, I want to say it's more right wing, but he certainly plays on the left wing more times than not. He seems to be very versatile in the way that he can play like either side. But I'll say right wing, and also he can actually play a little bit of fullback if he does need to. And it would be nice to have some MOANA games in the Pacific countries. And so, yeah, hopefully we do get to see it take place, within the next, I want to say the next year, but hopefully next couple years, we do get to see another one take place over there. And Caleb Clark on the wing. And there says Neville, yep, he's another player that people are considering for maybe the All Blacks for this year. And also Bowden should start wearing headgear. Is that because of all the cuts that he has been getting? Or is that because of the concussions that he's been getting? So he's had quite a few concussion issues recently, Bowden Barrett. And unfortunately, you can't have too many of those before all of a sudden you're not going to be able to play anymore. So he'll definitely want to be a little bit more preservative possibly before the World Cup. But he just throws his body into big contact with big boys. And that normally leads to someone coming off as the worst out of the two. And a majority of the time, that is Bowden Barrett, unfortunately. Currently, Ruben Love, he's got the one penalty goal, actually the only penalty goal that we've seen attempted throughout this game between the two sides. Now, currently, the position is pretty 50-50 throughout this game. 51% in favour of the Hurricanes and 49% in favour of the MOANA Pasifika. And just ask his brother, Scott, for a headgear. And there's us, Sebastian. I feel like Scott Barrett hands out headgears to the opposition because he knows he's going to hit them high and get a red card. Was that too harsh? I feel like that was quite harsh, but discipline has been a bit of a problem for Scott Barrett, although by the sounds of it, from that interview I did with Norm Maxwell, it sounds like it might have been something that Smiley Barrett might have had a little bit of a problem with in the past as well after trying to punch Norm Maxwell in a rugby match. But currently, the Hurricanes, they are sitting 22 points to 5 here at the moment. At the moment, tackles made. Those tackle numbers have gotten even lower for one of those sides. Okay. So because the ball didn't go 10, they're actually saying that it should have been a scrum or a re-kick before the end of the first half. So a little bit of mistake there from the referee, I guess you could say. But the Hurricanes currently sitting 22 points to 5. And they will be kicking this one off. It will be Aidan Morgan about to get us underway for the second half. No, there's Bulls in Spain. We've seen less red than Scott on the rugby field, as well, says Sebastian. But now currently Aidan Morgan kicks it high, kicks it long, and taken nicely by Tima Whainā Nuku, who was once again tackled by Salisi Rayasi. So he's been very good with this one-on-one defence. Good counter ruck there from the Hurricanes. It's going to be picked up nicely by Kiriru Symes. I believe he was able to get down on it. And now it's going to be available for the Canes on the 22. Perenara goes across to Davida Mafaleo. It's going to be tricky to try and get through this MOANA Pasifika defence early on, definitely after they've just had a rest. But if anyone can do it at the moment, it's going to be the Hurricanes with the penalty advantage. Now Perenara back across to Princep. Wide cut out pass from Ruben Love, goes over the head of the winger, and it is going to be going back for the initial penalty. Anton Leonard Brown and Frizzell are basically out. They expect no bridge too. Who makes the squad? Big Red got my vote, says Lax Axel. I hope we see Tom Robinson. Like, he's been working hard in the last kind of few years, really honing his craft. But the problem that we've got, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it's also a bad problem if you play that position. We've almost got too many loose forwards like that are playing well in New Zealand. Like, the thing is, Tom Christie probably will never get a look in for the All Blacks, sadly, but I love for him too. But we just got too many players. Like, maybe once Sam Cane retires, maybe he gets an opportunity at 7. But for now, it's just that hard to get in there as a loose forward, like, just because of how many we got. Like, at the moment, off the top of my head, I can probably name you 10 loose forward trios who are All Blacks potential or in the All Blacks squad currently. And yeah, it's very tricky for the selectors as they can only take like 7 or 8 of them now. It's another rolling Moia. Kiriru Symes trying to go up the middle. I believe MOANA Pasifika defending this one not too badly. It's gone down just short of the line. It's an advantage, though, for MOANA Pasifika. Now, Perenara looking for this ball. He's trying to dig it out. Still got an advantage to the yellow side in this one, the Hurricanes. Prinsep almost over now. Peter Umanga Jensen. Great tackle on him by Levi Amua, who was able to wrestle him backwards. Now, Perenara once again going across to Isaiah Walker-Liawere. Just shuffles forward a little bit more. Still got the advantage here for the Hurricanes. Gets back up, goes again. No one had him. And TK Howden now wrestled down to the ground by, it was, at the end, Henry Stowers, Blake Gibson a metre short. And the Hurricanes now, it's Perenara himself who decides that it's worth a crack. He is tackled. Alex Fidel almost. Tell you what, that's going to be close. I think he's held up, though. And it's going to be going back for the advantage. And Satyrs played like at the moment in the SS TikTok and Blues all day. They want to need more young locks like Josh Lord, Love Dan and Brody. But they're not going, they're not getting any younger. And then I assume that's Love Sam and Brody maybe for that one. But it could be wrong. Who else we got a lock? Dan. I'm trying to think of Dan's. All I can think of is Dan Carter, but that's because I've heard his name quite a bit because of his kickathon that he did do very recently. Sorry, I just had to pop off, charge me phone because it is currently 5%. Just not ideal. And also Moana at another midweek game. Says Flesh, and yep, so they are making up all of those games that they did miss out from early postponements, although this one wasn't actually their fault. It was the Hurricanes who did have a whole heap of cases. Time of the opposition 22, the Hurricanes almost getting up to 5 minutes, double the time that MOANA Pacific have had. I'm going to move my game back to in front of me. You go, let's go the Canes. Says David the Mod now. It's a nice rolling ball. Kiriru Symes has got it at the back for the Hurricanes. All he needs to do is fall over the line. He goes over, and Kiriru Symes does end up scoring the try. Now, they've said he's on debut, but I swear he played last week. Kiriru Symes, if I'm not wrong, as the replacement option as a late change for Asafa Moa. But Kiriru Symes going to get brought into the starting lineup for this game due to the injury, I believe it is, that we have seen of James O'Reilly, which is a shame because he was going very nicely for himself. But now Kiriru Symes scores the first try of the second half in favour of the Hurricanes. And they'll be very impressed with that indeed. Josh Lord has potential at the breakdown, or as a breakdown counter ruck threat. And there's us, he's got extremely long arms and just kind of seems to have a very good centre of gravity or very good wide base when he's going for that turnover, which makes him a hard man to move. And that's the thing. I think the one thing people have said is if he puts a little tiny bit more size onto him, like he's going to be a hard man to stop for the All Blacks in about 5 years' time, or maybe even as soon as the World Cup. Now, Ruben Love going to be lining up this kick. He's 3 from 4 tonight. Taking his time. Trying to make sure that this one goes over, and it has done just that, straight down the middle. And now the score is going to be 29 points to the Hurricanes, 5 for MOANA Pacifica. And go the Canes in this, and hey, let's go. There, as I said, Paddy Waggins are currently starting to run away with it just a little bit more here. The Hurricanes, the worst possible start for MOANA Pacifica there, as they did need to be the first side to score in the second half to really have a chance of being able to get back into the match. But Christian Leleafano now once again will be kicking off. Manu Paia, he is out on the field, and I believe that is a replacement for Jonathan Tamatine, who they have taken off. Now Peter Umanga Jensen offloads it across to Balin Sullivan. He's got quite a nice bit of space here. Isaiah Walker-Liawere trying to keep up with him, not quite able to do so, but now Salisi Reasi puts in the grubber down the short side. The ball just goes into touch. And up the Canes, and there says Petty Wagon, and also go the Canes, says Tesla. Well, it's Salisi Reasi. I think he was complaining that maybe there was a little bit of contact on him as he did kick this one in behind, but Balin Sullivan went very nicely there, making the line break. Thrown in by Sam Molly, taken by Samuel Slade. Link up of the Sams now. Going down there just short of the 22 for MOANA Pacifica. And now Manu Paia, his first opportunity in the game is to fire the ball back to Christian Leleafano. Some good distance on it, and it goes into touch. Oh, nicely taken by Salisi Reasi. Almost considered going for the quick tap, or the quick throw-in, I should say. It's a good offload there from Balin Sullivan. You would have to argue that there was a little bit of contact there. I don't believe Salisi Reasi would have got into that ball anyway with the angle that it did have. Kiriru Symes just waiting to be able to throw on this ball 40 meters out currently from the line, almost stolen by Nyakuru, but just not quite tall enough, which is something that man's probably never heard in his life. 40 meters out, Perenara now going back to Princep. So Wakaliawere considers a carry instead, now flung back across to Ruben Love, who's tackled hard by Henry Stowers. And also, still can't forgive Humpty Foster Dumpty for disregarding Boshia due to size turnover machine. This is Lex Axel. And yeah, he's a turnover machine who doesn't get penalised that often. I think that's the big difference between him. That's a beautiful flick out the back. Him and Duplessis Karifi. Is Karifi, he's 50-50. He's either going to get you penalised or he's going to get you the ball. Whereas Boshia, you're probably looking more like 75, if not maybe a little bit higher. Beautiful ball to DJ Perenara. And he's going to score it between the posts. And that is another try for the Hurricanes. And like I mentioned, a dream start to the second half for the Hurricanes with that try of Kariru Signs. It just goes a little bit better for them now as DJ Perenara has been able to score the try in the 47th minute. There's really a fearfulness for MOANA Pasifika now of whether or not they are going to have 50 points maybe scored against them, as this will put them up to 36 with still plenty of time left on the clock to be able to have a big impact. But it was a good run once again from Big Balin Sullivan. It was the offload. And also, I know I read that one about Boshia there, but currently, is he doing all right in Japan? We haven't really heard too much about him overall. I know that a lot of people normally, when they talk about the players who have gone to Japan, they go straight to Damien McKenzie and kind of the big Australian players over there, such as Quade Cooper, etc. But is Boshia still tearing it up in Japan like he was when he was over here? But that has gone over for the conversion now. 36 points to 5 here for the Hurricanes with still another 32 minutes left. TJ Perenara, what a beast. And there as well, says it's certainly impressive, that is for sure. Currently, he has actually got the most tries for any player for the Hurricanes. 58 tries away from Christian Carlin. Julian Savi is still currently playing. He's on 56, and he will be trying to catch back up with Perenara, although he won't be able to in this game as he is not playing. But I assume he will be playing this weekend up against the Highlanders. Okay, Danny Tuala going off the field now, and that is Henry Taifu who does replace him. And hey, let's go. And there says Betty Wagner now. Christian Liliafano. We're kicking this one long. Oh, Ruben Love slightly holding his thigh by the looks of it. So he's disappointed currently, but that will be the replacement. Josh Morby now gets to replace him. Wes Wilson fires it across now into the hands of Peter Umaga Jensen. He's had some good crash ball throughout this game, but hasn't really ever had that really good opportunity to be able to break the line. It's more just crash and go. And now, speaking of crash and go, it was the number 18 for this game, which is Posse. He's dropped that one down there for Salisi Rayasi, and now it's going to be another opportunity for MOANA Pasifika inside of the 22 of the Canes. We've got there another let's go, and also we have there the Hearts from Petty of the yellow and the black. Currently, one of the commentators just said one of the first times that the Hurricanes have buggered it up. I didn't realize that commentators were actually allowed to say that. I feel like it's something that we say all the time, but the ones actually on the commentary, I didn't realize they had the freedom to say that. That's the thing. I wonder how long it would take till if I actually did the professional commentary, till I say something I'm not allowed to say and end up getting fired for saying like a swear word or something at some random point. But currently now, they have got team of Whaina Noku extremely wide here for this one, so maybe looking for that set play, possibly a cross kick. As we go there, what's up, Canes? And there's us, there's Plush Verse. And currently they are doing extremely well, the Hurricanes, to be sitting on 36 points already with still another 30 minutes left. Manu Paia about to feed in the ball for MOANA Pasifika. It's gone down in the front row, and they are going to need a scrum reset. This uses up a little bit more time on the clock, although I will mention, the thing is, it was supposed to be, or I think it was raining earlier on. It's actually very nice weather at the moment here for them, but Tavita Mafaleo looks a little bit disappointed that he's off the field already, but it's actually Pisaleo Tosi who has replaced him, and also Georgia won't last 5 minutes, says Betty. That is true. I can't imagine George on anything that's PG. And also Boshia is at the Saitama Wild Night with Korobeti. They're doing pretty well, second in their division. I see done. How's Korobeti going out on the wing? Has he been scoring any tries, do you know? Sebastian. Because I know that he was a big one for the Rebels. That, like, he didn't actually score a single try last season, I don't believe. He was always so close yet so far away. He had a couple disallowed tries for himself. One umpire now passing across. Kane's doing well. Says Oldie, they are there. Another yawn. That's kind of annoying. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I think it's because I've got the light a little bit closer than it normally is. As ever you do, I would just get heaps of soft pats in there as well. Now going to be driving their way forward. MOANA PASIFIKA going short side. This is looking good. Alex McRobbie only a metre short now for MOANA PASIFIKA going short side. Hard to stop a man of that size, but they've done just that. Now Alex McRobbie, he puts it down. That will be the try for MOANA PASIFIKA. They're going to need a few more, but that is the first of many. And scored a try this weekend, won the game too. Nicely done. That is going to be the second try of the match for MOANA PASIFIKA. And it is going to be another forward in this game. I believe, other than Perenara and Hurson, we've had 5 tries scored by forwards in this game, which is actually, if it was raining, I would have said that would be what to expect, just to try and keep that ball security a little bit more. But it seems like they're just both favouring the fact that those physical forwards are hard to stop no matter what distance out from the line they are. And yes, there's Richard there as well. Alex McRobbie was able to score very well for MOANA PASIFIKA, and they now move themselves up to 10 points. It is still 4 converted tries away for MOANA PASIFIKA, but it is closer than they were before, and that is the main thing. Currently, Christian Lealiafano, they're showing the fact that he's currently on 982 points. He's closing in very closely to that 1,000 points. Also, try, and also finally, says Richard. Oh, yeah, they did very nicely. I believe that's Nakuru who's off the field now. So replacing him, I believe it would be the try scorer from earlier on, Michael Curry. Christian Lealiafano, he's nailed it. It's gone straight over there, saying it might be his last act of the day, though, as I think Lincoln McClutchy might not be too far away. Yes, Christian Lealiafano does get taken off the field. I've moved the game back to my front screen. If you're wondering why I look over there, it's normally when I'm updating my scoreboard, because I've got it as a separate tab. I do either need to reopen it after, or I can just put it out to the side. So that is the easy way. I'm a neutral, but I want to see some fight from both sides, says Sebastian. That's a penalty to the Hurricanes. And our TJ Perenara, he wants a quick tap. He does take it as well, and then he trips over, and he's been told to play on. It kind of looked like Finley Christie up against Fiji there for half a second. Now, it is going to be 15 metres out from the line. You're yawning because of all the late night work you do for the Kiwi Lads, Hamish. And yeah, that could also be the case. But I want to really close to my prediction of 38 to 10. It is very close at the moment. Right number of points. So another 25 minutes left. Peter Umaga Jensen, he has been wrestled down. They have now got the advantage here. Around the side, TK Howden, another carry forward for him. Quickly recycled ball by the Hurricanes. And quick ball will be important here as we get later on in the game. It will give them more and more of an advantage if they can wear down MOANA PASIFIKA. Blake Gibson picked up and dropped. That one's still available, kind of almost stolen by Lolagi Vizier. And just get dragged down by Morgan. And the breakdown, Tosi gets another carry. Perenara flick on the inside. So Lisa Ayasi wasn't ready for it, though. Except they are going back for the initial penalty advantage. It looks like Perenara wants to take this quick tap as well, possibly. Does he do it? Nah, he's puffing a bit. I think they are going to be kicking this one for the corner. Penalties conceded 9 against MOANA PASIFIKA and 6 to the Hurricanes at this point in time. I'm just going to be checking the odds of this matchup. I believe MOANA PASIFIKA to win from here will be absolutely huge. Like, we're probably talking over $50 at this point in time, as they would need 4 converted tries to be able to get themselves back into the game. So currently MOANA PASIFIKA actually $41, although it is locked out at the moment, as it normally does when teams get close to the try line. Currently, Hurricanes trying to find this ball through the middle. I think this rolling ball is still going. Almost looked like it had been dragged down, but now Blake Gibson tries to spin out a tackle. And it is going to be Tau Kalamatangi. Is able to get him down around the side. Alex Fidel, he's had a good game. Blake Gibson, no, it's still him. He's dropped the ball over the top, and now it's going to be stolen by Lincoln McClutchy. Charge down backwards. Ball almost stays in the field of play. Right. They're going initially for the goal line dropout here. Put in goal by yellow. There's a call for that one. I think MOANA Pasifika were asking whether or not it was a scrum for a knock on there. Lincoln McClutchy now getting another opportunity here to kick it downfield. Almost his first touch of the ball as well, other than that charge down kick from Peter Umaga Jensen. Taken very nicely by, it was Josh Morby. So Lisa Arce didn't really get out of the way for him, though, for that one. He kind of had to work his way around him on the ground, but now he has been told to leave it for Alamanda Matanga. It's a straight penalty to the Hurricanes. Alamanda Matanga now. TJ Perenara takes a quick tap, trying to make his way through over the line. It's going to be, I believe that is going to be Tosi. Yes, it is. Tosi scores the try. And on debut, that man gets himself one. Now, we'll go like this. We'll go like this. Like they're saying, Tosi was actually a number 8 for Southland before changing over to taking on the front row. And from there, another try here for the Hurricanes. Now that sits us a total of 57 minutes through this game. Still plenty of time, isn't there? There's going to be probably another 3 or 4 tries if we're not careful for the second half. But defence at this stage, it seems like both sides have just got big forwards that are too hard to put down. And I was like, let's go the Hurricanes, says Paddy Wagon there. But good awareness from TJ Perenara to take the quick tap. And now currently, MOANA Pasifika, to win this game, they are still paying the $41. I would have thought it would go up a little bit more now that they do need 5 converted tries to be able to win this game. But TJ Perenara getting the high five from all of the bench in this matchup. I'm still curious to know who the replacement number 16 is going to be for this matchup, because we did see Kiriru Symes. He was actually the man who was going to be coming off the bench, but he started rather than James O'Reilly. Now, Lincoln McClutchy about to kick this one off, but it is Cam Roygard who is a replacing the captain, I think co-captain for this game, TJ Perenara. Now going with the counter ruck, Roygard passes it across for his first touch. Balin Sullivan straight through. He is a dangerous runner of the ball. He's got Cam Roygard with him. It's a foot race. Offload, he gives it straight back into the hands of Lincoln McClutchy, though. And now a man wrestled down without the ball. Surprising that the referee didn't call that a penalty, seeing as it was just a random guy who ended up in the friendly fire zone. Now bouncing back onto the side of the Hurricanes. Now Morgan, wide slinging pass off to Salisi Rayasi. That man does not pass very often, but when he does, it is normally effective. And let's go, says Tesla. Well, that one as well. But currently now Tosi once again with a carry. It's stolen on the breakdown by MOANA Pasifika. That is now a knock-on by Penitoa Finau. And it will be the scrum feed for the Hurricanes. That is an interesting choice for a haircut for Penitoa Finau. I think he normally wears hair care, doesn't he? In fact, he might normally have dreads, and I think now that he has undone the dreads, that has actually caused some quite big frizz in the hair for him. Currently, they are talking to Pauliasi Amanu, MOANA Pasifika assistant coach, saying that the scrums aren't actually going too bad for the boys, as they are actually 10th ranked for their scrums throughout the season. And also, who's playing the best so far, says Vashina. So I assume we're talking best team and best player. So for me, I will say Hurricanes is the best, but for player-wise, it's tricky. I've liked what Wes Hulson has done throughout the ground, and then I've had to pick one for MOANA Pasifika. I'll probably go Henry Stowers maybe as my pick, or alongside him, maybe, who else would I say? Maybe Alamanda Matanga. He hasn't been going too badly for them throughout this matchup. I would say the Canes. And there says Paddy Wagon. Currently now it is going to be the scrum feed for the Hurricanes here. Just a few too many handling errors for MOANA Pasifika, putting themselves under the pressure of the scrum. And Jared Prophet here is now out on the field, and that is for Alex Fidel as a replacement. And that ball in, Roygard. And TJ is up there too. Yeah, he had a very solid game for them. Nice ball off to Peter Umaga. Jensen finds the offload. Oh, Morby's being tackled. Now Rayasi, meter from the line, flicks it back on the inside. And it is still, okay, it's a little knock on from the Hurricanes. It was almost Aidan Morgan who went over the line for that one. And then also Balin Sullivan in the midfield, you probably have to give an honourable mention. So a majority of the back line for the Hurricanes are all linking up extremely well. There's a great ball from Balin Sullivan. Then Peter Umaga Jensen got it out to Rayasi, who somehow kept it in the field of play. but it was a little knock on, and Hurricanes got the bonus point. Yes, says Max. We won't know until the end of the game. They do need 3 or more tries than their opponents. So currently they have got it secured, but it's whether or not Moana Pacifica get themselves a couple more. And how many minutes in are we? We are currently sitting at 61 minutes through this game. And I think so. Says a Paddy Wagon for that one. And now Jonathan Tamatino, was it? Is he back out on the field? He is. Okay, so Manu Paia must have had a blood bin, I guess. So he is off there. 43-12 is pretty close. And now great push there for the Crusaders. Or sorry, I called them the Crusaders, but it's the Hurricanes. And this time Reed Prinsep goes over and gets the rolling scrum try. And someone's injured, says Tesla. Well, that one, but we will go like this. And we will go like this. So I believe it might have been Manu Paia who had to go off, but Prinsep, the captain, has been able to go over for that try. So everyone in the loose forward trio scoring, except for the man who did go off the field extremely early, and that was Devon Flanders. But now that is another one in the 61st minute. They have been able to get themselves another try, and this is just a try-scoring fiasco for both sides. And also 50 coming up, says Paddy. And if this kick does go over, it will end up being the 50 points for the Hurricanes. With 62 minutes in, Reed Prinsep, he's been able to get himself over the try line. We'll go like this. And now the odds, I don't think they can go any higher for them, Hamish. Especially, I don't know, but I'm getting a sneaky feeling that Paddy is a Hurricane supporter. And there, I have a bit of a suspicion too, to be honest. Either that or maybe, he just likes one of the sides that are quite close to the Hurricanes. Surely, Hurricanes, mate. What an insult to the Satyrs, says Johnny Blaze. Well, I'm a happy man, says Paddy. Yeah, welcome in, Johnny. Hope you are doing well. Chiefs versus Moana Pacifica. That one's going to be missing from Aidan Morgan. Yeah, Chiefs versus Moana Pacifica this weekend should be a very exciting game to see. Yeah, we will have to wait and see exactly how it ends up going for them. But currently now was a brilliant rolling maul, and Hurricanes relentlessly going for half-century points. The Tuesday game, this is great, says Norma Jean. Yeah, we do get this game from about round 4 or so that they did have to make up. So now I believe we're only one game behind, and that is the Crusaders versus Blues. So hopefully we do get to see it twice, but I don't know whether or not we have got the opportunity. And it's actually out there, clearly am. And there says Paddy Wagon. I think David knows that, Paddy. I think he was being a bit sarcastic there. Hurricanes are at their best, says Jason. I know I'm going to grab a quick drink. The Canes are the best, says Jason. And also, what an awful kick by Aiden. And also, this is much better, boys. And then, building momentum towards their game this weekend up against the Highlanders. So both of these two sides. Okay, James O'Reilly has joined up by the bench. So you would have to argue he is definitely not going to be there for the later stages of the match. Moana versus Chiefs next week. Yep, it is going to be taking place this weekend. And it will be the Saturday earliest game out of the 3, followed by the game between the Hurricanes and the Highlanders. Kalamatangi, and also I believe it was maybe Tosi. I know he was sarcastic. I was going to joke about it. And there says Paddy as well. Ruben Love, he did very nicely earlier on. They were showing just a little moment that he was able to keep himself just in there. Also, lots of Cane supporters on the channel. Paddy, Katie, Crazy, and Zed are just some of the regulars. And there was Alcee Sebastian. Currently now Ruben Love, Bernard, and also Wes Houston's been taken off the field. That's a bit unfortunate for him. He was having a very good game up to that point. Now, Jonathan Tamatsene feeds the ball in. Henry. Oh, that's a massive push from the Hurricanes. Little knock on the ground, I thought, from Reed Prinsep as he picked that ball up. Believe Moana Pacifica, they've got that ball back anyway. So now, no harm, no foul. It is going to be now Sangster trying to get himself in the breakdown. Wasn't quite able to do so. Kalamatangi with a good carry forward. Currently now the Hurricanes, they have scored many tries throughout this game. Now good run forward from Henry Teifu, his first carry of the match. And also I don't think Cam Roigard isn't playing at his best like he used to play. And you could say it's down to not really getting a huge amount of game time. Like he hardly gets a chance nowadays with TJ Bernardo. And now that Jamie Booth is also back. And a lot of last year they did go with another youngster, didn't they? Who was the other young guy for the Hurricanes? At halfback, I can't even think of him anymore. I know that he's not there now, though. Currently now, it's a good run forward for Linda Muth. 7 phases in for MOANA Pasifika, arguably close to the most that they've had throughout this matchup. Waylon Sullivan back to his feet trying to rip it away. And Luke Campbell, he is the other one that I was trying to think of. I still remember him in that game up against, I think it was one of the New Zealand sides, and he was taunting them by like rubbing the player on the head after the try. And then after that, his team lost. So that was fun for him. But now all that's high from Salisi Rayasi. Referee says, nah, it's all right. Now, good ball retention so far. Sam Molly's lost that one on the ground, I believe. In fact, no, sorry, it was the replacement, number 16 for this game. It's close to the touchline, still inside of the field of play. Now, Levi Moore, one-on-one up against Josh Morby, just gets rid of him. Yeah, but now Morby fights back, gets it, and John Campbell, a legendary news reporter, and then also Chiefs, and that's the one. And there's Paddy Wagon. But currently now, it is going to be Jonathan Tamatine. He's passing this ball across. Only 14 minutes left of this game between these two sides. But like I mentioned, they are both going to be playing their matches on Saturday. And we will be covering both of those games on the channel alongside the Sevens and some Champions Cup. Paddy A from Wellington. Sorry, I just realised that I have no idea where in New Zealand Paddy is from. I believe he's a Palmerston North boy, if I'm not wrong there. Currently now 13 minutes left. Reed Princip, he's had a good game throughout the early stages. Matches 72, try 6. And also we have got their Palmy. As well says Paddy, so yeah, Palmerston North for that one. But now there's going to be the opportunity for Kiriru Symes. I think he's looking for the towel. Oh, okay. Manu Pai is back out on the field. Same with Samuel Slade. So they've almost got rolling subs here for the MOANA Pasifika side for any time they do end up getting cut open. Just been quite a few times throughout this one, but Slade's on the field. That is for Nyakuru. Now, nice run forth from Salisi Rayasi, almost stolen by Wazalinka McClutchy, but good ball security. And there, now currently hanging on to this ball. 25 minutes out. Cam Roygaard tries to pierce through. He's almost made it. He was wrestled down by Henry Taifu. Justin Sangster looks like he is going to go for this one. Is he? No, they're waiting for the halfback. Because he did join the breakdown, he is unable to go back out and then take the ball. Now, knock on from Aidan Morgan, although they're going to say it's play on at the moment for Salisi Rayasi. Being dragged down, that's going to be a penalty against MOANA Pasifika for Manu Pai. No, yes, now they have given it for not being able to roll away quick enough. And that breakdown now back across. White ball taken nicely, and that was Tay Walden who set him up for Kiriru Symes. He's going to have a big game. That's the thing. They're saying he's on debut, and he's going to have to play a full 80 minutes on debut, even though I swear he played last week. I'm actually going to look at the lineups from last week and see if I do see him in that Crusaders one. The cat is actually next to me at the moment. He might pop up for a little bit of a high. The end. Number 21, you got to get out of there is the call. So, yeah, it was James O'Reilly who started, and then off the bench, Kiriru Symes. Okay, so he was playing last week, but he didn't get an opportunity because they didn't use him in the later stages. And also Turbies and Bums the North hometown of the Turbos. Yeah, as I said, Jason also come on, crack 60 canes. At the moment now only about 5 meters out. That is a tremendous kick from the Hurricanes and another rolling ball opportunity. Hello, Manawatu. Yeah, hello, Billy. What you up to? Do you want to come up and say hi? I'll move the light for you a little bit. There you go. Oh, then. There we go. We got a cat for the later stages of the game. Rolling ball opening up here for the Hurricanes. And I'll say, yeah, that's my Palmy. And also, we need some good players for the Turbos. It's another try. John Campbell asking the Samoa Prime Minister, where did all the tsunami funds disappear to? And as I says, Johnny Blaze, but that is going to be the second try of the match for Blake Gibson. It's a field day for those who are sitting in the loose forward trio for both sides. I'm going to have to try and pull out the keyboard just a little bit so that I can add another try for Gibson, but that was in about the 69th minute. We will go like that, and we will go like that as well. There we go. And also we've got the Billy emojis in there from Sebastian. His first live stream he's joined me for in a very long time, I think, Billy. Overall, he must be cold. We've got the fire going at the moment, but I've got a jersey on, so it's very warm. John Campbell, the GOAT news reporter in there, and also we've got there Billy from Paddy, and also Turbo should sign some formed Super Rugby players overseas And it says Eva. I guess it's just the case of like the cost of that though. Like whether or not they've got enough money. And hi, says Daniel, and also hi, Billy. Says David the Mod, and also the Billy emojis from Patty. But now 41 metres out on the angle. Aidan Morgan, he missed his first kick. Didn't quite strike it the way he would have liked to. And that one's actually worse for Aidan Morgan, unfortunately. And also my score is getting closer. And there says Obi, and also what I try, says Des, let's see here. Once again, just going to that rolling maul. It's been effective for them throughout the match. Catches a look at himself. And also Billy the Best Cat in the South Island. And there as well, says Jason. He wouldn't argue with you, would you? Are you the best cat around? Yeah, that's the camera. You want to say hi? No? Okay. Fair enough. Drop by Tom Barson. Sangster picks it up, though. Good run from him going forward. Now Roy Gard fires it back across to Prince there. Balin Sullivan in the midfield. Kicks it with the right. No, you can't get. No, you can't go up there. Come on. Come back down. You pop down there. Here you go. I mean, Turbo's did well last year, 4 from 4, better than most. And geez, how much you look like a James Bond villain. And then also Billy looks looking to get slayed by the local alpha cats around the neighbourhood, eh? Also, do you live in the South Island, Kiwi lad? I sure do. And Barry says hi as well, says Ollie. Now it's a line-out throw for the number 16, who I believe is not who it was initially going to be. It was a very late inclusion for this match, a little bit of a reshuffle. And I was like, Kitty. And as I said, and also the 50 for the Hurricanes. Yep, they have been able to bring up 53 points for themselves, which is very impressive. And also Turbo, Northport, Exotic. And as I said, mate, Shoy, what's happening? Are you confused? What's going on? He's leaving. Bye. See you later. Now it's going to be a scrum feed here for them once again now. And it will be in favour of the Manu, or not Manu, Samoa, MOANA Pasifika, Howard Singapore Sevens. A final bullet from Fiji, says Abhishek. It was phenomenal for that one. It was a pretty awesome competition to see Fiji and New Zealand make it through to the final. Fiji, they defended their gold medal with pride and ability. And now they're heading to Vancouver for another chance at the map of the North as well, says MH. And also we've got there Gibson to get a hat-trick. I think you might be lucky to get another start on Saturday. As I said, Jason, get to mind for no rear for my. It is cut off though, and Reed has a kitty called Philip. And Rayasi, come on, mate, what's happening? Says Betty Wagon here. That's about his 4th knock on throughout the game, isn't it? Unfortunately, for Rayasi. And you have to wonder whether or not Husson does get another opportunity out on left wing, and then they give the bus Julian Savia that right wing position for the weekend. But now it's going to be Manu Paya giving it off to Levi Amua. Good pickup from him. Now fending, and he's got pace. He's going to be, oh no, he's offloaded on the inside to Peter Umaga Jensen. The only problem is Peter Umaga Jensen's not on his team. Now Roygard, once the end goes back across. It is a big run. Oh, tell you what, Tossi's really been hit hard with that one. It's a knock on. It's a little chip of mind. I think there's some sort of injury there for Balin Sullivan. It might be who is staying down currently. I don't know whether or not it is cramp or whether it is something else, but there are a few players down currently. It's been an intense physical game. It was nicely done by Levi Amua. And Levi Amua, is he a Safo's brother? I'm not too sure. I don't know whether or not there's any relation there, because I think I've wondered that in the past. I think someone said no. I think it's just same last name. I'm going to look him up. Levi Amua. It doesn't have anything about siblings. Levi Amua family, brother. There we go. No, Asafa Amua, no. Levi Amua, brother. I don't think it's got it. Right, and also we have got the I know Bailing didn't don't get injured yet, sorry, in there as well. And also we've got there Geordie must move back to 15 and put Julian Savia at 12. There's the race. I like that idea. I feel like that would be a better way of doing it, just because if Geordie is going to be fullback for the All Blacks, surely the more time that he has playing fullback before we get to Ireland versus New Zealand series in New Zealand, the better. I would have thought. But the Hurricanes, with this win, they will move up to 16 points and they will move to 7th. And also, is Josh Ioane a relative to Rico? He is not. Akira Ioane and Rico Ioane are the brothers. And then Josh Ioane, same last name, different family for himself. But Manu Pai now about to feed in this ball once again for MOANA Pasifika from about 30 metres out straight in front of the post. 5 minutes left. One last attacking opportunity. Is Geordie Barrett related to Scott Barrett? He is. Even though I guess you'd say Scott Barrett, he slightly looks like the odd brother out. Just, I guess, because of his pure size compared to the others. But he also just deep down looks like him. I know that George doesn't like Scott Barrett because it looks like someone he used to work with, and that person was a annoying, or not annoying, but a not very nice person. Is Conrad Smith related to Aaron Smith? He is not. For that one, and also his performance is better Pacifica or Drua. Currently, I'd have to say the Fiji and Drua have been able to work hard. They are the bottom two sides in the competition currently, but the Drua, they had a very good win in their matchup up against the Rebels. But then you'd also have to argue, like, the MOANA Pasifika side in their game up against the Hurricanes did very nicely, as Cale Clark, ex-New Zealand PM, Helen's son. I've missed that one. Like, that was probably, it was 2021. Was that Levi Moore almost going through that? That was like the prominent one. Every time we had an All Blacks live stream, you'd ask if Helen Clark's son was playing. I feel like that's a bit of a throwback, Johnny, isn't it? Is Manu Pai related to Fatuli Pai? Not that I know of, but there's a chance. This stage, a cross kick goes to Narian Famai, keeps the ball in the field of play, picked up nicely by Pinetoa Finau. Actually, no, did end up going over. And is Usain Bolt related to Lightning? I thought you were going to say is Usain Bolt related to Trent Bolt. For that one, I reckon Geordie looks like Bodie, but has the height of Scott. And this is Novmum. And also we have got there as Ben Smith related to Conrad Smith. And then also Aaron Smith and Ben Smith are cousins. Are they actually? If they are, I mean, I don't really know family trees too well, but I don't think they are, but they could be. You know, occasionally, Peter Umang and Jensen, Thomas Umang and Jensen, they're brothers, so it's easy to remember that. They also look very similar. That helps you out. And also as well, Jordan related to Michael Jordan. Maybe. No, I don't know. I don't think so for that one. That one's probably a little bit more of a stretch, although he's certainly got the leap and also the speed of Michael Jordan. So they share that in kind of, I guess you could say, in similarity. And also should Brendan Barrett be the All Blacks captain, says Claire. I don't think so, just because he normally only gets to play like kind of half to 3/4 of the game. And also alongside that, he has had a few injury troubles. Co-captain, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea having him as co-captain with Retallick. And I think that's actually what they did last year, wasn't it, now that I think about it? And then they had someone else as captain. I know that Dalton Papali'i has put his name in the hat as a possible captain's option. But for now, it is Sam Cane. As you can't really have Dalton at the front of a haka, as the man's just not intimidating while doing the haka, we have learned. Now Henry Stowers steps around 10 metres out from the line for MOANA Pasifika. Only 2.5 minutes left. They're trying to get themselves just one last try perhaps here. Now Manu Pai goes back across. That's a good attack and run. Little knock on though from MOANA Pasifika. And now it will be the scrum beat for the Hurricanes. And this might use up enough time to be able to close out the match. And also is TJ related to Dan Carter? Not that I know of. And also is Sirius and Maro Toje related? Don't think so. I feel like one of these ones I'm going to say don't think so, and then someone's going to have like the family tree and they're actually going to be related. But currently, Reed Prinsep is going to be possibly, I mean, Blake Gibson scoring 2 tries has got to get him up there for a possible man of the match. And Mana Tuolangi and his brothers made you at Wilford Road way back in the days. The groundsman wasn't very happy, says Johnny Plays. An umu, I assume that's similar to a hangi, isn't it? How you dig a hole in the ground, possibly. I mean, there's a flaming barrel at one of the grounds. I think it's at Saracen's home ground that they just have a random flaming barrel. And when's the Blues next game? It is going to be on Friday up against the Crusaders, 7:05 p.m. And we will be live for that game on the channel also. So be sure to check that out when it does come around. We will be announcing the lineups at some stage throughout the week alongside a few Sevens videos and Sevens live streams that we will have coming up also. But Kennel, it will be Cam Roygard once again going to be putting in this ball here. 1 minute left on the clock. If there's a scrum reset now, it might end up using up the rest of the time available in this game. But Roygard and the Hurricanes, they have been able to get themselves a bonus point win here. Warby kicks it way downfield. Now MOANA Pasifika is going to have the last opportunity. MOANA number 5 wearing Durag Wataji And they said at number 5, I believe that is Samuel Slade. It's a hyper taping on his head. They're going back. He was just in touch there for Lincoln McClutchy, but yeah, he got cut open badly earlier on. Henry Slade. It does look like a swimming cap I kind of compared it to earlier on. And Dunedin Williams and Sonny Bill Williams are TJ's cousins. And as us says Jason. There you go. Currently, the Hurricanes, they know that the job is done for this game. Lomax checking the phone, checking the time, going, boys, we might be able to make Macca's by the end of this one. Now, the knock-on is there. And that was also a lie, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, about Tyrell Lomax. Macca's doesn't close. I'm pretty sure it's 24/7 in Wellington. That's the end of the game. And it is going to be a dominant win for the Hurricanes. 53 points to 12 here. Durags while playing footy. What a lad. And also TJ resembles them both, says Norma Jean. Oh, that one. But now it is going to be the full-time siren. The Hurricanes move up to 7th now. And it is going to be a bonus point win. So they get the full 5 available for this matchup. But this is the only midweek game. Let's go the Canes. And there's our says Paddy Wagon. But now that is going to be the end almost of this live stream. But I do appreciate all you being here for a midweek fixture. Like I mentioned, the first game that we are going to be covering, that will be taking place between the Crusaders and the Blues. And that will be taking place at approximately 7:05 p.m. In fact, it's probably 7:05. They probably won't go either side of it. Normally, it is the Australian games after, though, that are a little bit later. And thanks, buddy, for the live updates. Says no worries. And also we have got the Macca's is 24/7. I go there for Christmas snacks. And MOANA going out on a high. Cheers, Obi there for that one. And Norma Jean has got the clapping emoji. And cheers for the stream, marriage. Much love and Godspeed editing, my man. And there says Sebastian, appreciate you, mate. You already, I guess, know what's coming next. That kind of sounded like I was turning into like a gangster. You know how they go like, you already know what it is. But yeah, you already know what's coming up later on tonight. So fingers crossed that it is a speedy process and we do get to sleep before 3. We have got the big thank you, mate. Sure, no worries at all, mate. And yeah, I've appreciated all you guys being here. 55% position for the Hurricanes and also 58% territory for them throughout this fixture. Reed Prinsep, the winning captain, though, they are now going to be interviewing him. 8 tries to 2. So for MOANA Pasifika to cancel out that bonus point try, they would have needed 4 tries in the later stages of this game. And much love, Amish and chat. PCL. See Johnny Blaze. We will see you later on, mate. And do appreciate you tuning in. Great to be here. CZ, mate. Sure, but nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also Vanaka for the live support, bro, and or live full support, bro, says Abhishek. Yeah, we will see you later on. And now, will the new Australian coach be Brad Thorne? It's a good question of who they will go with. I mean, I know that George would love to see it be Brad Thorne just because he is quite a big fan of him at the Reds. But yeah, I think it's still undecided currently who they are going to go with. But we will have to wait and see. Of course, the World Cup only a little bit away. You don't really want to make too many changes to your coaching staff. So if you change your head coach, you probably don't want to do too much of the other fellas kind of alongside them. But nonetheless, do thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport link up there in the pinned comment. And I will see you all